What's up, y'all? This is Exodus 1, aka Indigo Sky, aka Trigger Ranking. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely hit the notification bell. If you like to support this channel, my cash app is in the description. If you like to follow me on any other platforms, everything at the top of the YouTube. With that being said, let's get this show on the road. I don't know, y'all. This thing don't sound right, but just an apple. Let me take a bite. And they say, why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? Does it do me that way? I say, why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? Does it do me that way? Reaching out to touch a stranger. Electric eyes are everywhere. Everywhere. See that girl. She knows I'm watching. Hey, what's up? Stranger Things fan 1.0, what's up? Stranger Things, that's one of my little girl favorite shows, Stranger Things. I never seen it before. I never watched it before. My little girl though, boy, she know about all that shit. She know about all that shit. See, if I watch it though, I gotta watch it for like the first season, cause I have like, it's a lot of shit I haven't seen, but I hate getting into a series and it's parts that I don't know about that could be meaningful I'm actually watching. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm dreaming of. Okay, okay. I hope your surgery went well. That's human nature. Okay, damn. That's cool. Yo, what up? Hey, everybody, where y'all tapping in from? City, state, Providence. What country you coming from? Just spam the chat with that. What's up, free, friendly user?
To make myself believe the planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. Everything is never as it seems.
Oh, nah, it's just the intro, dog. We're just doing like a little bit of music, try to let a couple people come in or whatever. But I don't know, we freestyle, so we just go down and react to different videos and stuff. So, but now, I start off with music. One more time for the get down. Planet Earth turns slowly. Say when I never stay awake when I'm asleep. Everything is never as it seems. I like to make myself believe.
Slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay away when I'm asleep.
Somebody said, can I make them happy? I don't know.
I'd like to make myself believe the planet.
All right, y'all. Oh shit, they got nah, I don't know if I can play that though. Mississippi officials panic after residents they pulled up in Mississippi. They had to pull up on y'all in Mississippi. Hey, y'all, we about to react to Willie D Live.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We have here the people of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Moreover, Jackson County. They ran up on the courthouse path. Yeah, man. They pulled up and they are demanding answers to their questions. What happened to Nolan Webbs? Stop hiding. Come out wherever you are. Angel Myers McElrath. Yeah. Come out wherever you are. Sheriff John Ledbetter. Yeah. Check it out, man.
From this Jackson County Courthouse to the governor's mansion in Jackson, the people with power and privilege are keeping secrets and telling lies. They are doing their best to keep this racist system in place. A system that protects white privilege, white power, and white skin at the expense
Peace. You say you're leaving peace.
Of Black life. At the expense of Black families and at the expense of Black communities.
Hey, and I don't see a police in sight, so you know what might be going on.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
They fucked up.
This rotten system must be torn down.
Oh, I think you want some attention. I got you. I got some attention for you. You want attention. There you go. All the attention you want. You can go look in the mirror and yeah. You can go look at the wall and go talk to the wall or do whatever you want to do.
I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about when regular people feel like standing outside of the courthouse is the only way to get officials to hear them. You know when that happens, you know it's something wrong. You know that the investigation cannot be trusted. Yeah, fam. When the investigation becomes part of the story, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And this isn't the first time.
Okay, so look, y'all, the investigation, so this Nola Wells situation, I'm just saying how it should have went. It should have went, Nola Wells, whatever happened, it happened. Police supposed to get on the ground, 2 feet running, trying to figure out what's going on with this case, who did what. But it's like, since he passed away, since he's been missing the 4th of July, so this is August, it's about to be September, so it's going to be almost, 2 months already, so so yeah, this right here, this is not good, bro. This is not good at all, bro. But you know, when people like this start coming together and stuff like that, they lose faith in the justice system. And when people start losing faith in the justice system, sometimes people lose their jobs. Sometimes people get voted out of certain positions and things of that nature. But all in all, we just want to know what happened to Nola Wells. That's it, bro. Because this is a young Black man. He had a promising future ahead of him. And it's sad that he's no longer here. And we got to talk about it on the fucking internet, like every day, just to get somebody to even look or try to deep dive into what happened to the man. We don't even know what happened yet. We just know, okay, he drowned.
That the people of Jackson County, Mississippi.
Damn near 2 months. Man, let them folk. I ain't gonna go there, but yeah, it's damn near 2 months. And all we know is the fucking boy drowned, bro. Like, okay, we know that, bro. I don't know what that was about. Well, I thought somebody from come try to bust in here. A dog ran up here or something. I don't know what happened. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that was about.
Has rushed the courthouse. Yeah, they had a demonstration a couple of other times. Supporters previously gathered outside the Jackson County Courthouse, demanding answers and supporting Nolan's family. Yeah, these people put the pressure on and they're not going away. Nolan was found on July 6th, and weeks later, the public still knows relatively little about what investigators believe happened during his final hours. Why is that? Because the investigators are quiet as a church mouse. They're quiet as church mice. Now, don't confuse protests with proof. Gotta say that. A crowd demanding answers doesn't establish that authorities did anything wrong. It demonstrates that a segment of the community doesn't believe enough questions have been answered. And who is that on? Ding, 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 ding. You guessed it, the authorities. Because they know how to quell public concern when they want to. You've seen it happen time and time and time again, and especially.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, when certain things happen, like even the stuff with CK, Charlie Kirk, bro, they was on top of that. They caught that man about 2-3 days after the man got unalived. But this young kid is out there with hundreds and hundreds of people, and he goes out and doesn't come back alive. And it's almost 2 months later. We don't know anything. We don't know nothing. All we know, the man drowned. That's it. And that shit just sad, bro.
And let's say, for example, a mass shooting. If there's a situation where, let's focus on the mass shooting first. When there's a mass shooting, first thing they want to do is
they find out everything. When it's a big shooting and shit, bro, hey, if they want you, bro. See, this is the thing, bro. If you go outside right now and do something horrendous, 9 times out of 10, they're going to catch you, bro, because they want to lock you up. So whatever's going on with Nolan Wells, I think the reason why they pussyfooting around is because basically, they don't want, or well, whoever did whatever they did to Nolan, they don't want that to be discovered or brought to light.
Identify the suspect as a lone wolf, right? They want to immediately rule out the idea that there could be other active shooters, right? They're quick to rule that out. Why? Because they don't want the public to be concerned. Overly worried.
But in Mississippi, that's the opposite of the case. They don't want people to know what actually happened. And now the citizens are like, they getting kind of shaky and nervous because they're like, damn! They're like, damn, cuz, like, what you got going on, bro? Like, my man been almost dead 2 months, bro. What the fuck going on, bro? Like, if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody else, bro. And that's why they're in front of the goddamn courthouse.
They lose trust
in the legal system.
In law enforcement.
Yep.
And see, law enforcement will do some of the most heinous things as long as they can keep bringing you back to the center of police have it under control and you're safe. You're safe. And when I say safe, I'm not talking about poor people. I'm talking about the people who got the money. The idea is to make them feel safe. That's why they don't do a lot to help poor communities, because most of the people who got money don't care nothing about poor communities. Not really understanding that what happens to the least of us happens to the rest of us.
Best of us.
When people are feeling poor, people are poor and they feel they're disenfranchised, not everybody is going to play by the rules and just pull themselves up by a bootstrap. Some of them are going to just get them a strap and put their boots on and go out there and go get it. Go get it, come back with it. So law enforcement's job is to keep the public calm, right? Overall public calm. And if the people in the low income areas experience a little unrest, then they know how to surround them and like keep it concentrated to just them. And they have to reassure the people who got the money that they're not getting past those boundaries that they set. You know, they're going to make sure that people know that they're not passing those perimeters. So they don't have to worry about being safe, right? They do the same thing when there's some type of natural disaster, right? They come out quickly and make a statement and reassure you that we have things under control. Even if they have nothing under control, they have no answers whatsoever. They're going to come forward, they're going to give you something, They're gonna say something. The mayor will get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to tell you that everything's under control. They have the best workers, we got the best people coming in, we got more reinforcements coming in from out of state, da 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 da. They gonna let you know, man, and we got AIDS, you need help, you go here, you need help. Now everybody ain't gonna get help, but the idea is to make you think that everybody's gonna get help, right? The idea is to make you think at least you're gonna get help. That's what they do. And that's what they typically do, right? But they're so used to black people showing up dead and nothing happening, and they quickly ruling it a suicide. I don't believe they have a plan for justice. I don't think they have.
Now, to be honest with y'all, Nolan Wells is just one of the cases, but I'm not glad this happened. But it's time that somebody shine the spotlight on them, because if the little person can't get justice, it's looking bad for everybody, bro.
Damn, son.
No plan for justice. I don't think they don't even know what that looks like. They don't know that there's no protocol in place to give black people justice when they're found allegedly drowned, or when there's a drowning, a suspicious drowning, or a hanging or something like that. They always rule it suicide. I mean, like damn near, well, pretty much they're operating at 100% rate. Suicide, 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 always suicide, always suicide, always suicide. They don't even try to hide it. So that's why people are so suspicious. Officials, they cannot dismiss everybody as social media conspiracy theorists. These are also Mississippi residents physically showing up and demanding transparency.
Is this? Oh, perfect. Oh my God.
Black folks got the biggest dog in the fight. White folks who are showing up, I appreciate, because they ready to fight too. They said, hey man, my dog might not be as big, but I got a dog in the fight too. You know what that dog is? You know what the name of that dog is that white folks have? Humanity. His name is humanity. That's his name. You don't like humanity? How about equity? How about equality? How about fairness? Yeah. So I absolutely appreciate that. And I'm gonna tell you something, fam. It may not seem like it, but we've always had white allies. There have been white people who have lost their life in pursuit of justice for black people.
John Brown.
And I know some people.
John Brown kids. I don't know. Y'all look up who John Brown is.
Don't like hearing that, but it is a fact that there are some white people who have sacrificed.
Look up John Brown and civil rights movement.
More than many black people have. Yeah, they're out there. They've always been out there. What I like about this era that we're in right now, this time that we're in right now, I've never seen as many white people say, fuck that. We want justice for Nolan Wells. Fuck that. We want justice for this person, that person, this black person. They're calling it out. Even white males, I mean, like many white males are calling out white male fragility. They straight up saying what it is. They calling it out. That's how you get it done, man. All of this, because we know what the truth is. We know what the truth is. We've been know what the truth is. But it's important that white people also know what that truth is, and not just know what it is, but convey what it is, express what it is, communicate what it is. The courthouse is symbolic. That's why they took it to the courthouse. The courthouse is symbolic. They're taking their frustrations directly to the institution where a grand jury is expected to eventually consider the evidence surrounding Nolan's death. The DA is in a sticky situation, very difficult position, because she says legal and ethical restrictions prevent her from publicly revealing evidence from an active investigation.
But see, that's what's gonna mess her up. If they just come out with let's just say the grand jury say, okay, he just drowned. Okay, boom, he just drowned. She's saying that if it comes out that he just drowned, she's not gonna let that evidence out to the public, which is it's just stupid, bro. It's gonna cause civil unrest, bro, because people gonna start feeling like, they're not safe. And a lot of people gonna move out of Mississippi behind this. I promise you, dog. But she played herself, though.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's legitimate. But the lack of information also creates a vacuum that fuels suspicion. And she knows this. But she's stuck because this is what she does. She's so used to doing things one way and being incompetent that she don't know another way. She can't even think on how to administer justice fairly, impartially. She can't do that. So she's stuck. She's just hoping this thing just go away. I bet right now she's hoping that Trump invades another country or something. Maybe we go to war and risk 1 million lives before she give that family justice. The protesters don't need the authorities to reveal the entire case. The reasonable demand is investigate aggressively, preserve the evidence, examine credible leads, and present the grand jury with the complete picture.
Let's just hope we do that in this case, y'all. We're about to find something else to watch. We just got through reaction to Willie D Live, basically talking about the people coming to the courthouse and protesting about Nolan Wells, man. Y'all pray for Nolan Wells' family, man, because they just had a big loss and they're not getting any kind of justice at this point. I would say from what I think, I don't think they're getting enough justice. But we about to rock out with Cut to the Chase TV. Y'all check out Cut to the Chase TV. Something about Lil Durk. That's a little update. So I think Durk was in court today, so we got to figure out get this update right quick, see what happened.
She sleeps. I record the whole module. She made me in a few hours as a newbie. Look at me.
What's up, fam? It's your boy, Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. Lil Durk folded. It's over with. He took his ass to court and told over everybody. He put the figure at OT and body, and he even went as far to expose the real reason why Lil Pablo shot and killed. And that got everybody scratching their head. Everybody
Hold on.
What's up, fam? It's your boy.
Hold on. This is breaking news. Hold on. 1 hour ago. It's breaking news, y'all.
We Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. Lil Durk folded. It's over with. He took his ass to court and told over everybody. He put the figure at OT and body, And he even went as far to expose the real reason why Lil Pop was shot and killed. And that got everybody scratching their heads. Everybody's in disbelief. All those Dirt fans are distraught right now. They can't believe Smirk telling it. But to be honest with you guys, I don't blame him. Because let's be very clear.
Dirk like shit, he trying to go home, bro. And then, you know, it'd be a lot of that shit. Because he was talking about the whole, Dirk was dissing, what's his name? Gunna. You dissing Gunna, bro. But the thing about that is you just went to court today and told on everybody. So what does that make you? A hypocrite?
OTF Bonnie, OTF Jam, OTF Flocka, they all took plea deals and agreed to testify against Lil Durk. So if I'm Lil Durk, fuck the street code, and you put a finger at me, I'm pointing the finger right back at you. Because you guys didn't live up to the street code, so why do you expect me to live up to the street code? I'm worth billions of dollars. My career is on the line. My freedom is on the line. I got a beautiful wife. I got 7 or 8 kids. I'm not going to go down for those street codes. So I'm going to get on this stand. I'm going to have my lawyers do all the telling. And I'm going to try to find a way to get about this jam the same way you guys are trying to find a way to get off this jam. So I don't know why everybody's surprised. I don't know why everybody said, oh, man, Smirk ain't real. Man, the streets ain't rocking with Smirk no more. Feel the streets. See, you guys romanticize the streets too much.
Y'all keep talking about snitching and all, but that boy trying to go home. That boy like, man, fuck all that, bro. I'm trying to get back to the crib, nigga.
I've been around real gangsters. Those are some of the biggest hoes in the world. They do all this killing. They do all this drug dealing. They doing all shooting up the club. The moment they get in that detective room, they put the horns in them sleeves and they start rocking back and forth. Oh, you know when the nigga rock back and forth, you know he's gonna tell. We done seen the first 48. So my question is, did Dirk put the horns in those sleeves? Because once a nigga do this and he talking to the detective, that nigga's gonna tell everything. That nigga's on the brink of just singing loud. And that's what Lil Durk did. Now,
that nigga Dirk singing like Drake out here, right? That boy singing like One Take Drake.
Every time it got something to do with snitching, 6ix9ine done turned into the snitch expert. Every time somebody get caught up in a snitching scandal, 6ix9ine say, see, why y'all didn't do that for me? See, I ain't the only snitch in hip-hop. You guys was too hard on me. 6ix9ine want to be accepted so bad, and you can really tell that it's bothering him that he got labeled a snitch. And it seems like some people is covering for Lil Durk. Don't believe me? Take a listen to what 6ix9ine says about Lil Durk getting exposed for snitching. Listen to this.
Durk snitching in that courtroom? Did a nigga snitch on me? Jorge, the dropper, did he snitch on me? Took that right down?
Yeah. He was taking coordination.
Snitch plus snitch equals okay. No, hold on. Because Durk hired these lawyers, right? So I know.
You gotta get on facts, TV, because we don't have to debate this. I'm on Durk's side of this. This is not full snitching. This is called an alternate theory defense. You know this. The evidence kind of matched the other guys, so why?
This man, he always trying to come and save Dirk. And like I said, I don't want nobody to go to jail. I don't want to see nobody in jail. But bro, you got to let the evidence, the preponderance of the evidence, prove the case. Then you can make these type of accusations or allegations after you hear all of the evidence. You haven't heard all the evidence. This is like what, day 3 of Dirk trial? I think the first day was like last week. This is like the third day, I think it's like the third day or the second.
Y'all blame it on me. I agree with these academics. If I'm Lil Durk, I'm doing the same thing. If I got co-defendants and they already pleaded guilty, they already been held accountable for their role in this murder, I might as well put the finger at them. Hell, they put the finger at themselves. That's why I'm doing it if I'm Lil Durk. Okay, he told you guys this, he pleaded guilty. Okay, he did it. And I'm going to give you the reason why he did it. That's all Lil Durk is doing. Now, if these guys never pleaded guilty, if these guys were still pleading their innocence, then we could call Lil Durk a snitch. But these guys pleaded guilty, so they already admitted guilty.
Okay, I feel that. Now, I do feel that. I do feel that. If I got Cody's and my Cody's basically done already admitted to what they did. But what if they admitted to what they did? And well, I'm pretty sure some of them admitted to try to get a lighter sentence. So gotta look at that too. Some of them probably pointed the finger at Dirk and just say, "Yeah, I did it," but they probably didn't give him that much time because they seen that they was gonna testify.
Be honest. Is Lil Durk snitching? I don't think so. Let's go. Is that snitching? That's not snitching.
You're not supposed to say that, nigga. That is street nigga. Come on, bro. Street niggas like, shut up. Just shut up. Y'all figure it out.
He did shut up. The lawyers are just making a statement. Let's stop it. Let's stop that. Street niggas ain't getting arrested and they ain't looking at the detective with their orders for they talking some take me to cell 9. Hell no, the street niggas trying to finesse their way out of it. Hey, detective, man. Hey, can I call my mama? I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. It wasn't me. It might have been Junebug. Junebug came to my house. He had the Glock. I seen it. So street niggas always trying to finesse the system.
Not Junebug. Goddamn Junebug.
They always trying to get out that jail. Because I spent the day in jail. Ain't nobody going to jail after. I don't give a fuck what a nigga did 10 years. He ain't trying to do another day in jail. I did a day. I ain't trying to do another hour in jail. I'm just being real with you. It's that awful. That's all I'm saying. But let's continue. Just make it a case.
But you supposed to tell your lawyer. You supposed to tell your lawyer as a street nigga. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody else. I just know I had to do it. That's it. I just throwing it on another man. That's snitching.
Okay. Is it snitching if he's throwing it on the snitch? Body is snitching.
So why can't why my shit wasn't okay? Because I got told on.
You should do everything on. If you do everything on forehead, that would be not. I can tell what Dirk is gonna say. Hey, the guys always the guys is always
on your life right now.
What?
I promise you. You want to put a $50,000 bet on it that he broke trial, that he get found guilty? Let's put $50,000.
Hey, who's willing to take that bet with City Mind? I don't think nobody in their right mind would bet $50,000 that Lil Durk is gonna beat this case.
Because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose, buddy.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You got the shooter snitching. You got the mastermind snitching against them. How the hell is Lil Durk gonna beat this? If somebody shot somebody and killed them, and they say, "Hey, he's the reason I did it," it's gonna be very hard to beat this case. Now, many people was in the courtroom, many bloggers, many reporters, and once they started hearing how Lil Durk was trying to defend himself, a lot of people started saying, "Man, this is kind of shaky. His reputation is ruined."
Yeah.
We went to court, and your only defense was, "I ain't doing it. It was OTF Body." And I'm gonna tell you why OTF Body did it. And this is crazy. Let me read you guys this article, because this is gonna tell you exactly how Lil Durk pinned the whole thing on OTF Body. Take a listen to this.
Complex AI turns any definition into a catchy song. Paste your notes. Choose your style.
You went to court, and your only defense was, "I ain't do it. It was OTF Body." And I'm gonna tell you why OTF Body did it. And this is crazy. Let me read you guys this article, because this is gonna tell you exactly how Lil Durk pinned the whole thing on OTF Body. Take a listen to this. Boom! This is what it says. Lil Durk trial. OTF Bonnie, OTF Jam, and Flocka to testify for the prosecution. They done turned on Lil Durk. And when you alone in that cell, you missing that baby mama, you missing your kids, your granny getting old, your grandpa got a bad back, you know, he going to dialysis every week. Hey, you might be like, "Hey man, I ain't got too much time. I gotta tell what I know." Hey, it is what it is though. But listen to you. Lil Durk's defense is now claiming that OTF Body was the one to blame for the death of Lil Pop, as opening statements continue. Lil Durk is in court today for the first official day of his murder for hire trial.
Oh, it's the first day.
He is accused of orchestrating a hit on Pandorano with a
So he came out the first day
in Los Angeles back in 2022. It was allegedly done in retaliation for the death of King Von. Durk is currently facing life in prison. He has a legal team that includes Drew Finley and Brian Steele, who are both known for winning high-profile related cases.
Drew Finley and Brian Steele.
The prosecution.
That's like freaking. That's like Kobe and Michael Jordan, though.
Damn, son.
You got a dream team.
This opening arguments. It was here that they painted a picture of revenge. They pointed the finger at Lil Durk, alleging that he was the mastermind behind the murder for hire plot. Furthermore, the state revealed that OTF Jam, Kevon Grant, aka OTF Bonnie, and Keith Jones, aka Flopper, will be cooperating witnesses for the prosecution. It was communicated that all three have already pleaded guilty and will be testifying sometime soon. There you go. If OTF.
So that's what we were saying earlier. If they already said that they was guilty, they saying they're guilty because they feel like, you know, in a lot of these cases, if you got co-defendants and all y'all get lumped in, whoever telling first, they getting the best deal as far as jail time. Like they might be going home in a year, 2 years, and depending on how long they've been in there, you get 2 years, you've been waiting, sitting a year in trial or 6 months. All that time granted to the sentence that they're going to drop down on you. So maybe Vonnie is like, because Vonnie just got engaged allegedly to a young lady maybe a month ago or something like that. It might not even been a month.
OTF Bonnie and Flocka pleaded guilty. They admitted to guilt. How can Lil Durk be a snitch? If I got a co-defendant, I'm saying I'm innocent. He's already pleaded guilty. He's already willing to testify against me. Okay, since he said he's guilty, I'm gonna agree with him. He's guilty, and he was the one who did it. Now he's trying to blame me. That's how I'm spitting if I'm Lil Durk. Damn the streets, damn the street code. It ain't gonna help nobody here. Once OTF Bonnie took the plea deal, Lil Durk got the right to pin it all on him because he pinned it on himself, right? Let's continue. According to court reporter, Lil Durk's defense responded to the prosecution's opening argument with some accusations of their own. They put the blame solely on OTF Bonnie. The defense says Bonnie was present for Kevon's death. They even say Von told him, "Why did you let me get shot? Why don't you do something?" See? Bingo. There you go. That's Durk's defense. Durk is saying, yes, Kevon was my artist. Yes, he was my friend. Yes, I didn't like the fact that Lil Tim shot and killed him. But I didn't want revenge. Who really wanted revenge was OTF Bonnie. That's his cousin. That's his manager. OTF Bonnie was closer to Durk, was closer to Von than me. That's what Lil Durk just said. And he also said OTF Bonnie felt guilty after Kevon's death. Because when Kevon was shot, Kevon looked at him and said, "Why did you let me get shot? Why don't you do something?" So Lil Durk just said that Kevon's dying wishes to OTF Bonnie was get that get back for me, and OTF Bonnie was willing to do it. That's what Lil Durk is saying. And that's a hell of a defense, ain't it? But let's continue. The defense went on to note Bonnie's alleged presence during the attempt on Fondo Rondo's life in May of 2021 and the aforementioned murder of Lil Pop in 2022. Hey, Lil Dirty Lawyers is cooking, right? They like, hey, OTF Bonnie. They try to kill Fondo Rondo. So this is the guy who's the bad. This is the guy who's going to revenge. It's not my client Durk. You can't really follow for that. So far, 4 witnesses have taken the stand, including a custodian of records for the 911 call, an LAPD detective, a patrol officer, and the medical examiner. At the time of writing this, court proceedings are set to resume following a quick recess for lunch. Dang, there you have it, man. Lil Durk got them high-profile lawyers, and they working for him. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a lot of people's upset. A lot of people thought Durk was just going to lay down and get the time, but hey, if you're fighting for your life, you got to come up with a credible defense. If everybody will turn snake on you and they say they got 35 witnesses, you got to fight back. And that's what Lil Durk is doing. He's swinging back. You can't really knock him for that. Now, another interesting thing that happened during the first day of his trial, the feds say Lil Durk tried to escape. They say he showed up to the airport. He seen the feds. He tried to get away in the car. And once they had him blocked off, Once they had him surrounded, he still refused to get out the car. That is crazy. Take a listen to this.
Struggling with depression and not feeling the comfort and peace that you need, I invite you to meet with missionaries like me from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We can help you lift your burdens through the gospel of Jesus Christ.
That is crazy. Take a listen to this.
Man, so the feds just revealed something about Lil Durk that had never been heard before. Now, there's all these rumors that Lil Durk was trying to flee the country when his homeboys started different kinds of flights and going on the run. He's denied this, but we now heard for the first time, allegedly, according to the prosecutors, this blew my mind. Not only was Lil Durk trying to flee the country before he could be charged in the murder for hire for Lil Pow, but apparently, this is crazy. They're saying that when he arrived to the Clearport, the private airport, he was trying to go on a private jet to flee the country. He said that he saw.
So that basically was following him because I could see him getting caught at a regular airport, but a Clearport. But the Clearport, you really got to go through more. It's like more credential type stuff that you have to deal with as far as getting on the plane. Then if you go into another country, stuff like that, they got to make sure that passports and everything is, legitimate. So if you get dropped off in that country, you can come back because you got to have your paperwork and stuff.
FBI there, and he tried to run from the FBI and escape the FBI at the airport. And then he said when they finally closed him off and boxed him in and stopped him, bruh, they said that he refused to get out of the car.
You see that? Typical street nigga. Y'all do all these crimes. Y'all hard body out here. When it's time to pay the piper, when that police come knocking at y'all door, the first thing y'all want to do is barricade yourself in your baby mama house, hide in the closet. You hide in the washing machine, you hide under a pile of dirty clothes. Y'all do anything but to be held accountable. And that's what they say Lil Durk did. They say he tried to escape, he started booking flights. But let's be honest, Lil Durk was the last person to get arrested. So he heard about everybody else getting arrested. He started
He's trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
He went to a private airport, he seen the feds.
I'm going to be honest with y'all. If Durk was smart, he probably would have went to Bali. He probably would have been in Bali somewhere. In a country that's non-extraditable, somebody that can't be extradited back to America. So, yeah, if he was smart, he would have went to Bali like Russell Simmons and just been living a life. But you want to be hard in America, so it's just like your boy Tate them, the Tate brothers. They thought they was bigger than the program. They come to Miami, them folk like, man, lock their ass up, bro. They like, lock the door, shit. They ain't going nowhere. You going to jail, bro.
They got him around it. He refused to get out the car. Because he knew that it was there. He didn't want to go to jail. And I can't really say I blame him. But listen to you.
Yeah, who the hell want to go to jail? Nobody.
He wouldn't get out the car. He didn't want to get out for law enforcement. It was crazy. I never heard that before. It sounds to me like he was trying to get out of here. Obviously, the defense, they're claiming the other side. They're saying, no, look, what was really interesting was when the defense addressed this, they didn't outright deny it. They said, look, he was looking to get out of the country. He wasn't going to run. He's internationally famous. He was just trying to get out of the way. I think they said specifically, the way they phrased it, they said, look, he wasn't trying to flee the feds. He was just trying to get some space.
Yeah.
Space, fleeing the feds. It all sound the same to me, bro.
That don't look good for little. Try to flee, try to allow extradition back to the United States. Ain't been street dudes. Pay attention, man. You may be on top of the world, you may be having a lot of money, you got a lot of fame, but you surround yourself around people that there's nothing to lose, that's still involved in murders, that's still game banging, they can take down your whole empire. And now you left holding the bag. Everybody trying to get a light sentence, not a life sentence. Everybody's willing to point the finger at Lil Durk. And the reason why everybody's willing to point the finger at him, because they know that's who the feds want. He's the head honcho. I know it's unfair, but that's the way the feds look at it. They want Lil Durk. So we'll give y'all a life sentence. We won't give y'all life. We'll give y'all 15, 20 years. We really want Lil Durk. If you don't let's give him a life sentence, you can get a second chance at life. Which is kind of crazy. But listen to you.
Just trying to get some space. He was just trying to get some space when he went to the airport. Trying to get some space when he was trying to get some space from the feds to get away from him. He was trying to get some space when he refused to get out of the car when the feds boxed him in. So, hey, I think we might actually end up seeing eventually some body cam footage from the arrest when they caught him at the airport on the shore. Obviously, I'm very interested to see that. I think the fact that somebody would try and flee definitely does add an interesting dimension to the proceedings. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear. There's a lot of other stuff. I'm going to break down Dirk's defense that his team put forward in their opening statement that was very interesting, very unexpected. So I'm going to update you guys on that as soon as I possibly can. But there has been an insane amount of updates. It's been back to back in court today, both opening statements, and we're now on the witnesses. It's wild.
When that little Dirk trial got all the bloggers working overtime, they said F the Mo3 trial. I know the Dirk and Mo3 trial was going on at the same time. Ain't nobody really covering the Mo3 because Lil Durk was the bigger artist. It's more national known. So all the bloggers took their ass to LA. They ain't in Dallas. They in LA covering that Lil Durk trial. And it's been a very explosive day. Some people say Lil Durk won the day. Some people say Lil Durk lost. But I want to know how you guys feel about it. Do you guys think Lil Durk's going to beat this case? Or you think he's going to be found guilty? Let me know in the comments.
Hey, man, y'all check out Cut to the Chase TV, bro. I check your channel out, man. That's just what we got to reacting to. Let's see, we got to keep going, Bridget. Hold on. See what we got going on here. Oh, shit. 6 hours. We're going to Poetic Flacco, y'all. We're about to react to Poetic Flacco. Bad news for Dirk. More updates.
Quick question. Did you have hernia surgery after 2015 and then needed another surgery because something went wrong? Like ongoing pain, infection, or your hernia?
Day one of this Lil Durk trial is forcing the streets to have a very uncomfortable conversation. I know a lot of people online right now calling Lil Durk and them a stone cold rat for what took place in court today. And I know other people like myself who believe Lil Durk ain't rat. That ain't what ratting is. If you believe that Lil Durk ratted in court today, I think you are a doofus. I think you're a dummy. And Dirk the Voice, man, he's supposed to come to court and put it all on PR, right? But in effort of transparency, we're going to provide both sides. The Lil Durk ratted today side and the you guys are dumb if you think Lil Durk ratted side. Let's rewind real quick and go from the very beginning so you guys understand exactly what's going on and all the details, and then we'll get into what took place today.
And rapper Lil Durk has been.
Be right back, y'all.
Arrested and charged with a murder for hire plot. The Chicago native, whose real name is Dirk Banks, was arrested in Florida by the U.S. Marshal Service. The 32-year-old's arrest comes as 5 other people in Chicago were arrested in connection with the investigation. According to the complaint, Banks and his co-conspirators allegedly worked together to, quote, track, stalk, and attempt to murder a target at a Los Angeles gas station, firing at least 18 rounds into the person's vehicle, striking and killing a passenger in the car. Banks made his first court appearance this afternoon in Miami. Banks' lawyer asked for privacy after leaving court, telling ABC, quote, "We will not be commenting at this time." I want to bring in ABC News contributor and Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse and ABC News contributor and criminal defense attorney Shauna Lloyd for more on all of this. And Shauna, I want to start with you on this. The charges against these men include conspiracy to commit murder for hire and use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in a death. The most serious charge carries up to the death penalty if convicted.
Outside of Lil Durk, the most important person in this case is Kayvon Grant, aka O.T. Avani. Because O.T. Avani was the person who purchased the flights, he purchased the guns, he got the stolen cars, he got everything you needed, including the ski mask, to do something like this in broad daylight in the middle of Los Angeles. He's the one who orchestrated everything, set everything up, paid for everything using Lil Durk's credit card. Quite honestly, I don't know what Lil Durk was thinking. I can look at O.T. Avani and tell you he ain't trustworthy. Look at him. I wouldn't trust O.T. Avani to watch the ice in the igloo. Man, He just looked untrustworthy and dishonest. Look at him, bro. He looked a little slimy, man. Every co-defendant that got arrested with Lord Durk looked dusty. Vonnie just the dustiest. Look, bro, Vonnie one of the dustiest human beings I'll ever lay eyes on, bro. If you don't got enough respect for yourself to moisturize, what makes me think you gonna have respect to keep me out of jail? You don't even love yourself. What makes me think you love me enough to where you gonna sit down for 30? Man, cut it out, bro. And for
30 years for another man? Nah.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I don't know about that one. 30 years?
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap
technically,
right now, man.
because of course, the hungriest, brokest, most starving soldier is the first one to fall. OTF Vonnie began to work against Lil Durk almost immediately. And it was very crucial and very disappointing from Lil Durk's defense perspective because OTF Vonnie was essentially the one in the middle of everything. He's the one who got the ski mask, the phones they was communicating on, the cars, the guns, the flights, everything. So it's bad news all around when that man has turned into an informant. When you learn that that man is coming to court to testify against you. Because that man who's in the middle of everything, he knows the entire operation. He knows everybody involved. He knows every minute detail because, well, he planned it all. But here's the twist. OTF Vonnie coming to court and testifying against Lil Durk is actually the best thing for Lil Durk. It's a blessing in disguise. It actually gives Lil Durk the get out of jail free card he always wanted. It gives Lil Durk the out that he couldn't have taken without OTF Vonnie coming to court and testifying. This was such a blessing in disguise for Lil Durk, and you'll find out why towards the end of this video. So in the prosecution's opening statement, they essentially labeled Lil Durk.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Any time in jail, I don't know about no blessings, bro.
Stop the cap.
Ain't no blessings when you go into jail, bro.
No voice.
I don't know too many blessings coming out of a jail cell.
As this bloodthirsty, revenge-ridden person who orchestrated the stalking and the murder of Quanah Ronald's associate. Now, they would describe OTF Vonnie as Lil Durk's personal assistant. Lil Durk was a multi-millionaire. I don't believe that OTF Vonnie was Lil Durk's personal assistant. But they would say that OTF Vonnie, right, who already pled guilty, by the way, to this, he already confessed, was Lil Durk's personal assistant. He arranged the guns, he arranged the stolen cars, he arranged everything, right? He orchestrated all of Lil Durk's crime according to them, which I think is a stretch. Now, they would claim, again, Lil Durk was consumed with getting revenge against Quanah Ronald for the murder of King Von. Now, Kayvon Grant, even though OTF Vonnie to me is the biggest rat in this situation, but he is by no means the only rat in this situation. OTF Jam and others are testifying against Lil Durk too. Durk has a lot to overcome in this situation. Now, they made a mistake when they...
But from what I'm hearing, they said it was 35 witnesses. I'm talking about even the judge was like, you got 35 people? Like, the judge was like, boy, y'all did y'all motherfucking homework out this bitch. Like, the judge was looking like...
You are watching a master at work.
Yeah, Dirk might not be coming home, y'all. He might not beat this one. He got Drew and he got Brian, but... I don't think Drew and Brian gonna be able to get him off of this. It might be game over, dog.
But you have people like, let's say, Keith Jones, who they're claiming is another witness who's involved, who's gonna be testifying on behalf of the prosecution, not the defense, and David Lindsay as well. So Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and others like DeAndre Wilson, which is OTFDD, they were flown into San Diego on August 18, 2022. Allegedly on the promise they will be paid for killing Quanah Rondo. Now, here's the thing, and here's the problem with that specific detail. They have not named what the price was. They haven't said what Lil Durk promised to pay him. Now, you got multiple witnesses involved in this situation, and nobody could give you guys a number. See, it started off as a murder for hire case, and then they transitioned it to, well, no, he offered them like musical opportunities with his label if they did this. But everybody involved were already associated with OTF. OTFDD was already associated or signed. Like, everybody involved had some role in OTF. They had some role. So you can't say this is for musical opportunities when Lil Durk was already giving them musical opportunities. It doesn't make sense. But again, pay attention to how they still have not named what the reward was. They haven't named how much the payment was.
Because if they can't really name that, they can't. That's another thing that Dirk might be able to slip and slide out of this situation. If they can't name, like, okay, well, you went and did this, but what was your payment or reward for trying to unalive Quando or Quando's cousin? Like, what was your what was y'all gonna get out of it? Like, did y'all just do it for nothing? But you use OTF credit cards to book these flights to go from Chicago to LA to do this. And that right there could get Dirk in some trouble because you're the leader of the company. It's your company. OTF is his company. So basically, if they're using the company credit card to do this, he gonna basically say he didn't know that they were going to do this. That he gonna have to say that.
And there's multiple people involved in this who testified, but nobody has the number. So how's it a murder for hire? So they continue and they says the prosecution called it a case of both revenge and reward, describing the morning of August 18th as frantic in nature. The group traveled with only the shirts on their backs. On August 18th and 19th.
Damn. So they went out of town with not even a bag in their hand. Not even a bag.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
2 white sedans with tinted windows, one rented and one stolen, allegedly stalked Quando Rondo before he was targeted at a gas station on August 19th. Before he was targeted at a gas station on August 19th. The first vehicle you see is directly behind Quando Rondo's black truck. And then if you look up the screen, you see another white vehicle. So apparently both of those vehicles was trailing behind Quando Rondo, which, again, like, I don't know. Like, again, I'm not a criminal, right? I don't have a criminal mind. So I can't tell you exactly why they used 2 cars to track him instead of one. I can't tell you that. But yeah, those 2 cars were tracking him the entire time. When they ultimately stalked Quando Rondo and arrived at the gas station, 18 bullets were fired. 3 shooters were dressed in black and wearing ski masks. The prosecution alleged that Lil Durk was at his rental home waiting for updates by phone. GPS data from the rental car allegedly showed it traveled to Lil Durk's rental home multiple times over the 2 days. The prosecution also alleged that Lil Durk tried to flee the country and ran from the FBI. Now, here's the thing, and I don't understand why criminals use rental cars. Because if the rental company sees their car,
yeah, that's
on
stupid.
The news,
Stupid.
What did they just say? Oh, yeah, no, that's our car. Yeah, no, we have all the information of who rented out our vehicle.
That's stupid,
right? Like, from my perspective, like isn't a rental car the worst possible thing you could use?
Right, you might well steal a car, my nigga. That's why a lot of crimes are committed with stolen cars, like. You're going to rent a car and then go commit a crime in it, and the rental car company has all of the information. And like Buddy said, if I'm working at a rental car company and I see my damn car on the news, what the hell you want me to do? You dig? You dig?
In a murder case, because the rental company have a record of who rented out the vehicle. But apparently, yeah, okay. So the prosecution claimed Lil Durk was at his Airbnb waiting on updates via phone. Now, I was also told that Lil Durk was doing a podcast earlier in the day as well. So he did a podcast, then he went home. But Lil Durk was nowhere in sight. He was nowhere around. OTL Vonnie is who orchestrated and masterminded the entire operation, even got fake license plates for the rental car and the stolen vehicles. So Vonnie was the mastermind. Now, Vonnie is testifying he did all of this because Lil Durk told him so. The defense for Lil Durk, now this is where I tell you guys that OTF Vonnie, Kayvon Grant cooperated and coming to trial and taking a stand is actually the best thing that could have happened for Lil Durk. Because the worst case scenario here is OTF Bonnie keeping it quiet, right? Keeping it stand up. And then OTF Bonnie and Lil Durk have to go to trial together as co-defendants. And now Lil Durk can't really give his defense. He can't really say anything. He just gotta, fight this case with Bonnie and them. But because Bonnie came to court and testified against Lil Durk, now Lil Durk got to get out of jail free card. Now Lil Durk can do what he was supposed to do from the very beginning, which is, pin this entire case on the Dusties. Okay? Come to court and tell them white folks, nah, man, OTF Bonnie did this. I didn't do this. Nah, I'm a multi-millionaire. Nah, I'm a musical artist, man. I ain't no street dude, man. Nah, man. A bunch of street thugs, they did this. I don't know what's going on. That should have been his defense from the very beginning, but he couldn't give that defense at all the other court dates because he was not sure yet that OTF Bonnie was testifying. But now that he's sure, Lil Durk and them, in their opening statement, pinned the...
So I guess, I don't know when he got his motion of discovery, but once he got that, he was able to see everybody that he had to. Basically, everybody that flipped on him, he was able to see that shit. So it was just like, shit, I guess a nigga was like, shit, I guess we ain't doing that. He's trying to get out of jail, though. Fuck that. Like, you trying to get out of jail. Fuck all
entire
that.
case on OTF Bonnie. Good news for Lil Durk. He got one black juror on the jury, if that means anything to you guys. Now, the opening statement for the defense will start off by claiming, Lil Durk was a leader of a successful label, not a criminal organization. So what are these people saying? They would also say that OTF Dan, who's supposed to be testifying, is not credible. He's desperate, right? Because he's a confessed killer. He's an admitted killer. He was interviewed over 30 times by law enforcement. He's been given information on any and everyone he could get information on because he don't want to rot in jail. So he's here testifying that he's not credible. He's willing to say whatever he got to say to get out of jail. They would also say this is a story of revenge, okay? The prosecution said today that Casey Hester, OTF Jam, Kayvon Grant, and Keith Jones Slacker would testify for the prosecution. Now, the defense will also confirm, listen, okay, we agree this is a tragedy, but Lil Durk was not there. Lil Durk was not connected to it. Lil Durk was actually home at the time that this was happening. Now, this is something that I didn't know. I didn't know Lil Durk actually lived in LA at the time, which would also matter, right, when we were figuring out how Lil Durk was able to get Ronald's drop. Because to a lot of people, Lil Durk was in Atlanta or Lil Durk was in Chicago.
Yeah, I thought he was in Atlanta.
Ronald was visiting LA and they hopped on a plane to get there. But apparently, Lil Durk lived in LA. Lil Durk already had connections with the Rolling 60s. So when Colorado get into town, he's tapping in with the Rolling 60s. Not knowing the Rolling 60s is feeding his information to Lil Durk. Cold game, right? Which is why when that happened, Quantarano stopped rocking with the Rolling 60s in like LA. Big U and Quantarano had a back and forth on the internet where Big U told Quantarano, don't call me now when something happened because you wasn't tapping in before Lil Pop was murdered. Right? So we already know what that means, bro. Hey, bro, you wasn't paying that extortion fee. You came to court. Well, no, you came to town. You got spanked. And now you calling. But you wasn't calling when we needed that extortion fee from you, bro. Cold world, bro. Cold world. Okay? So the defense says you would hear from Kayvon Grant. He would testify he was Durk's personal assistant. He was a guy who did everything, right? He booked the rental car. He booked the fake license plates. He bought ski masks. And they also confirmed that Lil Durk was living in Encino with his wife, India. He was living in LA because he's a performer. There are allegations of murder for hire. And this is what I said earlier. There is no money to follow. There's no payment. There's no bounty. There is
Main thing is, bro, if they don't have anything with Durk basically rewarded anyone, but this might be Durk might get on from this. He could, but I the way everything was looking in the beginning, it just looked like Durk was cooked. But now, we at the first day of the trial, so hey, first day, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We got a whole week, y'all. So we're gonna get updates throughout the week. Every day, something gonna come new. Y'all know we still doing the Nolan Wells thing. We getting updates on that every day, but shit, every 6 hours you got to update in the Nolan Wells case. But yeah, this Dirk man, bro, we gonna figure it out. But the case has started, so the ball is in Dirk court and it's rolling right now. So it looked like he's fighting for his life, because I never thought Dirk would have his lawyers, put it on somebody else. Like,
when nobody got paid. Mr. Hester is eager to kill Quando Rondo. Mr. Hester is angry that Mr. Wilson, OTFDD, is not participating. Mr. Wilson did not admit to a crime.
Who is Wilson?
Craig Harbaugh said during his opening statements, he's the lawyer for OTFDD. Now, if you guys have already forgot, okay, who Hester is OTF Jam, okay? So apparently OTF Jam, who by the way was was the body man, okay?
Okay, Hester is Jam. Varney, we got Hester, we got Jam, and we got Varney. We already know Jam got out of jail. I think he did 12 years allegedly and got out, and Dirk was looking out for him. And allegedly, something happened to Mr. Hessner, child's mother, and they're trying to connect Dirk to that. But
the OTF Jam was the person they brought for the bodies. I think he got over 20 bodies or so. Lil Durk is bragging about
20 bodies.
OTF Jam for bodies over the jailhouse phone once they found out that OTF Jam was a rat. But apparently, OTF Jam and OTF Vonnie already had the drop on Quando Rondo and them a day or two before Lil Durk and everybody got into town. And they were mad that nobody wanted to move fast enough. So the two people, right, who were eager, who devised up the plan to murder Quando Rondo and Lil Pop, now they're the two who's telling Lil Durk and others that they coursed into this, revenge plot. This is where Lil Durk's defense starts cooking. They strongly dispute the narrative that Lil Durk had the most to gain for this revenge. They strongly dispute the narrative that Lil Durk was the mastermind with the most motivation. They're saying, no, the mastermind who's in court testifying against Lil Durk, that's the person with the most motivation. And they ran through the motivation for OTF Vonnie and why he wanted to do this. So first off, OTF Vonnie and King Von were cousins according to...
They said it was cousins. So boom, check it. Vonnie, they said Vonnie had a lot of control over King Von's accounts and his money stuff. Yeah,
Lil Durk's in the defense team. And they were extremely close. They detailed that OTF Vonnie managed King Von's finances, lived with King Von, and the two even shared a bank account.
Yep, I just said that.
Now the defense...
Yeah, he had a lot of stuff going on with his money. So, he might have got upset that, when King Von passed away, money issues changed, because King Von was like Tupac. King Von was the bag. I'm not saying he rapped like Tupac. I'm just saying in the whole situation, he is the bag. He's the bag person. Just like Young Dolph with everything went along in Memphis. Young Dolph was the bag in his crew. And y'all see what happened with Young Dolph, but they didn't even have to go to court. They went to court, but I'm just saying the streets did what they wanted to do with that situation. So man, we look up brothers dying, people, they said damn near 20 bodies undropped behind Dolph, man.
Damn! Reiterated multiple times, the two were close as could be, and said that OTF Vonnie was there when King Von was shot in 2020. Now here's the thing. Now here is something that we didn't know. Now we don't know where they got this from. Probably from Dirk. But the defense team stated that King Von's final words to OTF Vonnie was, why did you let me get shot?
Oh, my mom, I found this app. Now I can play all the Five Nights at Freddy's games for free. I thought of...
Why did you let me get shot? That's so...
Damn! Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, that right there could be a reason why, you know, Vonnie went crazy for Buddy, because like as soon as he was dying, he like, bro, why you let me get shot?
Powerful, bro. And this is such a great defense.
But see, the thing about this is, bro, all this shit is for nothing. I'm right here in Atlanta, bro. Like where King Von got killed at, I used to walk there damn near every day, bro. I had business down that way on Trinity Ave, Monaco Hookah Lounge. When you bus cross up and go across the bridge, Monaco right there, you can see the bridge from Monaco. You bus up, you go up, cross the bridge. It turns into Peter Street. That's where 2 Chain and all the restaurants, I think T.I. had some shit over there. But bro, I had business over there, bro. I used to pass by that bitch all the time, man. This shit crazy because it's like, bro, like, Tim didn't kill Von, y'all. I hope y'all know this. They did all this for nothing, bro. If y'all wanted to do this, y'all should have went and well, I'm not gonna say what they should have did, but we'll just say the police is the one that killed Von, bro. Tim didn't kill Von. Tim shot now. Cause I guess he seen what was going on, but it was police out there too shooting, and police is the one that killed Von allegedly.
Imagine speaking to a jury of essentially 12 strangers, and the 12 strangers have to decide. Hold on, y'all say Lil Durk was the mastermind for this, but his blood cousin booked the flights. The blood cousin booked everything. The blood cousin got the fake license plates. The blood cousin got the guns. Oh, by the way, the blood cousin was the most motivated to get revenge for King Von because King Von left.
So they try to put it on Vonnie, but see, Vonnie, I don't know if Vonnie already testifying. I guess he already got his time. I need to look that up to see if Vonnie has already been sentenced. I know he said he's guilty, but have they sentenced him yet? And is his sentencing going to be contingent on what he does in the courtroom as far as this whole thing he basically said he did.
What's worse to him was, why did you let me get shot? He was there when it happened, right? He was angered. He was angry. He wanted revenge. He was bloodthirsty. But he's testifying in court that Lil Durk was the one who forced him into doing this, but he had the most motivation to do it. Oh, this is so brilliant, okay? Now, they agree with the prosecution that this murder was driven by a need for revenge, but said that Kayvon Grant enacted that revenge, not Lil Durk. They started the text, they stated the text messages the prosecution would show as evidence was taken out of context. They highlighted that Lil Durk was not a leader. They further said people did not even listen to him. The defense stated that Lil Durk was a successful, well-known face, which is why the prosecution was looking to blame him. When Kayvon Grant was approached as a search warrant was being executed at his home, the defense stated a light bulb came on. They said OTF Vonnie told officials whose credit card was used. Alleged OTF Vonnie knowingly used the company card and turned it on Lil Durk. But
that's what I was kind of alluded to that earlier, but didn't come to that rationale of it. But that makes a lot of sense also. Like that side of this coin that we're flipping here in this Dirk case, like what he said was kind of, when they locked him up, I did it with the card. So let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me give you this information so I can get up out of here, bro. But at the end of the day, like I said, Tim didn't kill Dirk. Vaughn. So none of this is like, bro, we shouldn't even been here right now, bro. If you wanted to go,
Now, first off, I don't believe that OT Avani used Lil Durk's credit card, right, without anybody knowing, right? Clearly, OT Avani used those credit cards, right, with Lil Durk's permission. But if you are Lil Durk's defense team, of course you come to court and say that. Now, these dudes is foul, bro. OT Avani ain't even wait to be arrested. OT Avani ain't even wait to be in the jail cell. He was already cooperating. As soon as they showed up and put him in cuffs, he was already testifying. Like, ain't that crazy? He was already cooperating. In the home, he was cooperating, bro.
So hey, you were telling someone they put the cuffs on him. Like they didn't even have to get him to an interrogation room. That was just like, hey, bro. As soon as they clicked it up, he started acting like he was on the first 48. Like, that's crazy.
No, hold on. Check the record. Who our credit card was used? You see, this is cold. But people are claiming that Lil Durk is snitching or Lil Durk is a rat because Lil Durk's defense team, their entire argument is OT Avani did this. OT Avani is the mastermind. OT Avani had the revenge on his mind. King Von told OT Avani, those final words, and that made him bloodthirsty. I don't think that's snitching. Now, I don't know what the rules is to snitching. If somebody tell on you, can you tell on them? But some people say, no, you can't tell on somebody because they tell on you. You are a dummy if you don't tell on somebody if they tell on you.
Yeah, like I ain't gonna lie to you now. the way they framing it, they're like, shit. Basically, the nigga, he gotta tell. Like, all that gangster shit, that shit gotta go out the window right now. Like, bro, them folk like, nigga, you ain't no gangster, nigga.
Stop the cap. No voice.
That shit gotta go out the window, but that boy trying to go home, my nigga. You trying to go home out that bitch.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
And bro. Hey, bro. If you was worth millions of dollars and you was mixed up in some shit like this, what would you do? Would you do the same thing Dirk did? Or would you just be like, oh, nah, I'm a gangster. I'm going to take these years. Man, fuck all that. I don't do no dumb shit to even get in no shit like that.
Bro, Taxstone was cooperating as soon as Taxstone got arrested. Troy Ave took the stand. Now they're saying Troy Ave a rap for somebody if they tell on you.
So I did not know this. I did not know that Taxstone, they said he was telling soon as he got locked up.
It's like the Troy Ave and Taxstone case. Bro, Taxstone was cooperating as soon as Taxstone got arrested. Troy Ave took the stand. Now they're saying Troy Ave a rap for telling somebody who told on him first. So when it comes to Lil Durk and OT Avani, if Vonnie is taking a stand to bury Lil Durk ain't allowed to bury Vonnie first.
Hey, it is what it is, bro. Like, hey, but we all hear this rat shit and rat this and rat that, but bro, now you fighting for your life. They looking at you like you a rat, bro.
Lil Durk and his defense team ain't allowed to put the case on OT Avani when Vonnie is putting it on Lil Durk. What are the rules here? I want to know. I want to know what the rules here now is, man. Because if somebody is coming to court on me, man, I don't give a damn about street rules, bro. I'm putting it on them. We just gonna snitch on each other, bro. It's really that simple. I don't think Lil Durk did anything wrong at all. Now, the argument for Lil Durk telling is, even though Lil Durk is not taking a stand, his defense still works for him. If the defense is
Hey, I love doing this YouTube shit, man. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna do it until I get great. But whoever come in here and watch this video, man, just know that I ain't gonna stop, and we're gonna keep going, man.
You are watching a master at work.
putting the crime on other people, then that's Lil Durk putting the crime on other people. All that is out the window once that man come to court and testify. It's simple as that. Also, by the way, okay, if y'all want for Lil Durk to keep it real, keeping it real in this situation means the death penalty, by the way. Yo, just in case y'all know, keeping it real in this situation means the death penalty.
Damn. Hey. That's horrible, though. Keeping it real is the death penalty. God damn.
Because more than one person was the target. Y'all let me know in this comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? Y'all think Lil Durk keeping it real? I think Lil Durk, man, bro, I think Durk kept it as real as he can, man. OTF DD ain't say a word, Lil Durk ain't telling on DD.
I don't know about that either, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know about that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
All right, y'all. So we just got to react to Poetic Flacco. Y'all go check his channel out, man. I think we're gonna go back to Willie D Live. We'll go back to Willie D, see what he's talking about. Somebody, another Nolan Wells up there. We flipping back and forth because these are the two biggest.
Posting the same video across every app, that's hours you'll never get back. With Link, we post to all. Upload one.
But it's crazy that the Mo 3 case going on and ain't nobody really even talking about that shit. But I might be one of them. I might just goddamn, when I get out here tonight, I'll just do a couple shorts. I gotta write a little note to myself and do some shorts and shit. And, you know, we go from there, my big dog.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Everybody keeps talking about examining Nolan Wells' phone. But what if investigators are looking in the wrong direction? What if the investigators actually investigated? You know what I'm saying? Nolan is the person who died. If you really want to reconstruct what happened during his final hours, shouldn't you also be looking at the people who was with him when he allegedly disappeared, or people who last saw him? You know, anybody who may have contacted the authorities. Because you know, a lot of times when people are involved in crime, they will contact the authorities to kind of snoop around and volunteer information just to see what type of feedback they'll get, right? Shouldn't they not leave one stone unturned? Shouldn't they just be really looking at everybody, including the judge? Any adults who were on that boat, shouldn't they also be looking at the grandfather who owned the boat, that Wyatt?
But see, this crazy, dog. Like, I keep listening to this and we keep getting updates and stuff, but it's like the more people talk or the more questions that are answered, it just feel like this is injustice. And I can't say it no different way. I can't be a different person. I can't really, you know.
Was operating. Nolan is dead, so communications with Nolan stops at that moment. But if somebody is involved in his death and a subsequent cover-up, Perhaps, just perhaps, they're still talking. Maybe they're covering their tracks. They're talking to their buddies. Hey, this is what you say. This is what you don't say. Right or wrong, fam? Give it a thumbs up if you think they should be examining those phones of everybody, especially the friends. Thumbs up. Thumbs down if you say, nah, man, you're going.
I mean, they should be interviewing everyone that has something to do with the situation. They need to look at with a fine-tooth comb, and they need to get all the evidence they can get, separate them, let them tell them stories different. But see, real detective work, and how I feel about real detective work. When this first happened, everybody that was with him would have been in an interrogation room with the real police, not what they call it, a content creator. You know what I'm saying?
Too far with Willie D. You're going too far, man. All that ain't necessary. I give you a few moments to think about it. Okay, time's up. Nolan's phone only tells one side of the story, fam. And that's the digital story. His friends' phones could potentially provide additional pieces of the time.
That's another thing too, bro. When you do an investigation, everybody that's around that person, their phones are supposed to be seized or whatever for gathering information, stuff like that. Like, they're not supposed to be able to just, I'm just woo around, and I've been around somebody who got killed. They're gonna look at my phone like, hold on, what happened? You was there, this and that, your phone, let's see your text messages, shit. Like, they gonna do that, bro. But they didn't do this in this case, man.
Oh, or text. Compare communications before Nolan disappeared, while people were searching for him, and after he was reported missing. I mean, am I cooking them? Am I making sense? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make a little sense. That's all. Location data could be critical.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, location data, like GPS on all them phones that was around his phone. Shit like that. Like, bro, come on, bro. I'm a regular citizen, bro. And just a little bit of shit that I'm saying right now makes more sense than what has been coming out in this case, as far as the curious case of Nolan Wells. Like, this shit is just weird to me, bro. This shit makes absolutely no sense, bro.
Friends' phones during the relevant hours, and does that match the accounts they've given investigators?
This is the pizza man here outside with your order. Half cheese, half pepperoni.
Does that match the accounts they've given investigators? Look at the group communications. What were the friends saying to each other when they first realized Nolan was missing? The timing matters more than the content sometimes. For example, a call at 10:15 versus 12:15 could change how investigators understand the sequence of events.
Yep. I mean, that's true. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, nobody ain't doing their job. This is just, and then, we just around here, like, we just talking about it. Ain't nothing being done. Nothing is being done. Like, nigga, we dead in the water out here, bro.
Evidence against the statements.
Because, bro, best believe, bro, if they could do this in Mississippi, they could do this anywhere else they want to do this, bro. This is America. This is the America we live in, dog.
If someone says, I was here at this time, available location, photo, message, or call data, may help corroborate or challenge their recollection. Deleted data isn't automatically suspicious. People routinely delete messages and content, but forensic recovery could potentially establish what was deleted and when, if investigators have lawful access. So let's not single out one friend, right? Let's not single out one friend, because I think if we single out one friend, we might let some other friends off the hook who might potentially be guilty. Yeah.
But what if one of those friends' mother is a judge? Then what?
I say don't single out one friend based on one internet suspicion. If multiple people were with Nolan during the relevant period, investigators should follow the evidence consistently.
And this is crazy, bro. Like, people on the internet is telling the police what their job and what they need to do. Because at this point, I don't even think they did that shit. I'm just saying what I think. I don't think they did it. They might have did their job. But who's to say that they actually let the real evidence out here? Which what has supposed to been what has been done.
That means everybody is a suspect. Everybody. That means everybody's a suspect. Not just the friends on the boat. Grandpa. Yeah. Yeah. The people on the Ceto car. Hey, did they release all of the information? Hey, we thank you for the information that we have, because, hey, that's going to be big down the line. It's big right now, but it could come in evidence. It should.
Yeah, it could come into evidence, because that Ceto call, boy, that shit. But that didn't look good for nobody that was on that boat at that point, including Nolan, because he was, it sounded like they were talking about him allegedly.
Into evidence. Everybody's a suspect. Anybody who knows that, hey, even if they're not a suspect on the front end, there are suspects on the back end. If somebody was an accessory after the fact, if somebody knew something, if somebody hid something, if somebody concealed something, you gotta check it out. Now, there are legal limits, as some of my law buddies would say. Police generally need consent, a warrant, or another lawful basis to conduct a forensic search of someone's phone. Being Nolan's friend doesn't eliminate Fourth Amendment protections. The key is probable cause. If investigators develop evidence supporting a warrant for a particular device, that's when the contents of that phone could become extremely important. Phone evidence could also clear people. So all these people who are saying that they're innocent, they should have no problem turning over their phone. If so,
but a lot of people think, when you delete stuff from your phone, it goes a certain way. But when you delete shit from your phone, I'm just gonna be honest with you. They got a way to bring all that information back to police. So, bro, if you're gonna do something wrong, just don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro.
One's digital footprint.
And definitely don't use your phone. And sometimes when you don't use your phone, that's an indicator that you did do something. Your phone is off or sitting in a certain situation, and they can tell that you're in a car and they got camera footage of you going somewhere else, and your phone is at your house, and you did something and came back to your phone, bro. The police, bro. Yeah, they like, and that's why I'm kind of baffled about this whole situation right here, because it's like it's almost 2 months in and we don't know nothing. We don't know anything.
It matches their story. That's valuable evidence too. The goal isn't simply to find guilt. It's to establish the timeline. Follow the evidence and let the truth set you free. Stop thinking of phones only as communication devices. Depending on the device and available data, phones can contain location history, photos, videos, timestamps, app activity, and other information that could help reconstruct events. If you're trying to figure out what happened to one person in the group, don't just examine the phone
of the person that's missing. You got to do the whole conglomerate of everybody that's around this person. I mean, it might be people that was passing through, that was cool with somebody else that knew him. You might need to check their phones out too. You did, like, but yeah, this is, man, this case right here, bro. This gonna be this monumental. This is monumental because it's like it's in our day and age, and it's people can't stop talking about it because it's like we see what's we actually see what's going on.
Of the person who can't explain what happened. They say dead men can't talk. Examine the phones of the people who can explain what happened. Examine the phones of the living. Follow the evidence. And where legally justified, examine the digital trail of the people who can. Yeah. Don't that sound plausible, fam? Isn't that reasonable? Don't that sound plausible, fam? Isn't that reasonable? I could take every single investigator's job in Mississippi right now. Because from what I've seen, they have done nothing. They seem very incompetent to me. I ain't even went to school for none of this. This is common sense. I'm just talking common sense.
Hey, he ain't lying.
This is me living life experiences. This is using common sense. And many of you have expressed the same thing. Hell, some of you have been saying it from day one. Hey, check the friend's phone too, right? Don't forget, check the friend's phone. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on like a lot of that shit you talking about right there. I've been on that shit. I've been on I was on the CETO call before they even enhanced it. The young black lady that the audio engineer that actually enhanced the call. Like I've been on that. Like before she even did that. Like I didn't do what she did, but I'm just saying I was just listening and divulging all the information of what he was saying compared to the questions she was asking him and things of that nature. That shit is just, it don't make sense, bro. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, bro.
Check their phones. I say go further than that. Check their siblings' phones. Check their parents' phones.
Mm-hmm.
Find out if they got burners.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, all this shit happened, bro, and ain't nobody, it's nobody held accountable. Nobody is held accountable for this. And this right here is history, and it's going to be something that's going to be talked about for a long time. The curious case of Mr. Wells. Like, this case right here is going to be one of the ones that we're going to be breaking this shit apart because everybody, we really the meat of everything. We just want to know what happened to the man. You know what I'm saying? Did he jump off of a boat, hit his head, or hit his neck on the? Whatever. But we just want to know what happened, bro, and why was he the only person that didn't come back? Why was he the only person to not come back from this trip? And that's it. And they ain't got nothing about color, all that. Yeah, okay, if it was a white dude, he wasn't the only person to come back. Same thing, but the thing that's I got the dog in the fight. It's a black young man.
Yeah, check the judge's phone. I'll take it further than that. Check the investigators phone.
Mm.
Bet y'all wasn't ready for that one, huh? Yeah. What about the police officers who went to the judge's house before they went to the parents of Nolan Wells' home? How about that? They meet the judge at her house. They give her that courtesy. They make Nolan Wells' parents meet them at McDonald's. Check their phones too. Check everybody. Check the phones. Check the computers.
Damn. Checkmate, nigga. Checkmate.
Trapaholics, real trap shit.
Check the tablets. Check the surveillance footage. Check everything. I'm telling you, somebody or something saw exactly what happened to Nolan. No more talk.
Hey man, y'all check out Willie D Live. Y'all go check that guy out. He's a great content creator. Shit. We about to go. I'm gonna see if we can go to something else. Most scandalous Los Angeles. See what they got. They got like we'll do this one. But check out Scandalous.
I want to invite you guys to come.
Most Scandalous Los Angeles.
You might be thinking, do I belong? Do I fit? Is this for me? We hope.
I mean, shit, he was 18, 20, big shit. I did what I was supposed to do. I jumped out. I damn sure wasn't going to stay sitting in the car. That's how. Some crazy shit. I mean, I was just tripping off the door. I didn't think nothing of it because I was home to get like,
Hey, when this happened, because I didn't see shit, no commotion, no nothing right there. There was this shit. I was like, man, ain't nothing happening. I was right there the whole time. I was chilling. Like, stage area was cool now.
Fuck out of here. We got outside, got to go to drive the rock. Free for all.
So, did he call you out on stage and put the mic down or something? What was that about? Something. Somebody said something like True Car said something on stage and put the mic down or some shit.
Yeah, what did he say, man? I don't know. What did he say?
I don't know. That's just what somebody came in here and said. I didn't see the shit, nothing.
Honestly, man, bro, you just keep grinding and get better, man. Don't blame it on nobody else, man.
When he said, calm down, gotta wake up. He called me out on my stage. Come on, man.
No, we won't. We won't laugh.
You gotta be backstage to get to my stage, right?
No, that's right. Oh, shit. Right.
They still ain't called on yet. That's crazy.
Instead of putting out real work and getting your shit, and you just trying to
say it, though. I'm saying
I can't even understand that.
I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta read between the lines.
That shit clear. Crazy.
Why responsible to being knocked out at the game's concert? Man, get the fuck out of here. It's weird. So, they gotta stop claiming fake knockouts, man. Why you talking to that crowd? They gotta stop claiming fake knockouts. That don't look good.
To intimidate victim one, defendant Henley told victim one that
Henley had seen Whack 100 with his wife and daughter and said, there's 50 to 20s with us. Hoodies tied down. Got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She like, boom, she jumped in the car. Paid for blah, blah. Then took off. Boom, this screaming. My wife, Trevor, I see you, Eugene. I see you, Eugene, honey, I see you. He's screaming all that. He got his blower. He got his blower out, but he's fucked up because nope.
Hey, we about to do hip hop Buddha right quick, man. It's another Dirt update. So let me find it right quick. Let me go back. We gotta do this Dirt update. Dirt, my nigga. See what they talking about. We about to react to hip hop Buddha.
We promise a tenfold refund if it doesn't work. Traditional dentures can cause jawbone loss and alter your facial contours over time, but these dentures completely avoid these problems. They fit in 1 second and are suitable for everyone.
I don't know about no dentures. Maybe when I
know
get
y'all not
80
calling
or
Dirt a
something.
snitch.
Not 80 or 90.
No, man. It don't even work like that. So the streets trying to say that Lil Dirt snitched on, OTF Vonnie by trying to throw everything on him, man. So let's get into this video, and later on I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna let y'all know how I feel about it.
Day one of this Lil Durk trial is forcing the streets to have a very uncomfortable conversation. I know a lot of people online right now calling Lil Durk and them a stone cold rat for what took place in court today. And I know other people like myself who believe Lil Durk ain't rat. That ain't what ratting is. If you believe that Lil Durk ratted in court today, I think you are a doofus. I think you're a dummy. And Dirk the Voice, man, he's supposed to come to court and put it on all them peons, bro. But in effort of
You like hip hop Buddha,
transparency, we're going to provide both sides. The Lil Durk ratted today side and the you guys are dumb if you think Lil Durk ratted side.
Hold on, y'all. Ain't nobody here, so I'm about to look at some weird shit, some different shit. Let me see.
I own over 50 controllers, but which one is the best? First up is this tiny Shadowrun controller. This thing is terrible. It's way too small, the buttons feel cheap, and I can barely even hold it properly. Out of 10. Next is this controller with a built-in screen. You can use it to change the sensitivity, dead zones, vibration, and a bunch of other settings without opening any software. It actually feels really good. 7 out of 10. Then we have the normal PS5 version. The adaptive triggers and the vibration features are still really cool, and it feels great to use. 7.5 out of 10. Next is the GameStar differential. This has Hall of Fame sticks, tons of extra buttons, and basically every setting you could possibly change. 9 out of 10. Then we have the Mojang Store. This controller looks insane, feels super responsive, and has almost every throw feature I could actually care about. 9.2 out of 10. And finally, the DualSense Edge. It has back buttons, trigger stops, replaceable sticks, and easily the best build quality out of all. It is ridiculously expensive, but it's still my favorite. 9.5. I own over 50 controllers, but which one is the best?
I got one of the best two he just named just now. I got that Pro back there, and I got the regular one right here. So I had to get two for me and my little girl. We be playing a little racing game and shit against each other. Hey, y'all, we got an update on the Keefy D. We're gonna do long crime right now, y'all. Long crime. I might go 3 hours, bro. Just say whatever. Do another 3 tonight. Fuck them.
I saw him walk by. I know I'm disagreeing with you right now. I watched him go by. Sure, that's fine. You look good.
Hey, y'all, we're reacting to Law and Crime, two-part murder trial. I don't know what day it is. What day of the trial it is.
Murder trial entered its 6th
dead. And once again,
Day 6, y'all.
KPD Davis could not stay quiet.
Day 6.
He shouted answers from the defense table, shook his head at witnesses, and even raised his hand for a break when the jury didn't need one. But even more fireworks came when it was time to hear from a witness who reported Davis's own words without his knowledge.
Tell me who you got permission from. I didn't need permission. Do you understand? There's no permission needed. For that. I'm there to.
But you don't have the contract, person. You don't have the contract.
We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. So we're in week 2 now of the Tupac Shakur murder trial. And once again, the defendant, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, made his presence known in the courtroom in a way you typically don't see. Not just as a defendant, but as someone who seems determined to run the courtroom, like he allegedly ran the streets. Now, there was an especially fiery moment that came down just before court adjourned for the weekend. And today, Davis was at it again. Earlier today, Michael Dorsey was back on the stand. He is a documentary filmmaker who produced Murder Rap in 2015 with Greg Kading and later worked as a consultant on.
Yeah, Greg Kading is one of the foremost leading officers on the Tupac case.
Death Row Chronicles. During interviews for Death Row Chronicles, Dorsey recorded audio on his phone capturing moments that weren't on the official BET tapes, and those recordings eventually turned into evidence in this case. So today, court kicked off with arguments outside the presence of the jury on whether parts of the recording should be allowed in. Before Dorsey got back on the stand, the defense attorney laid out his argument. He was trying to describe Dorsey's role, saying he was listening in to make sure Davis wasn't lying. But this attorney apparently couldn't remember the name of the interviewer who was in the room with Davis. And that is when Davis, from the defense table, shouted it out.
He fighting for his life, so you know what he gonna do. He gonna be like, "Oh shit, yeah, it was."
It was picked up on microphones. Listen.
The problem with what we're doing now is this. Mr. Dorsey gets up there and testifies and he says, look, my job, from what I understand, was to listen to the interviews that.
See, this right here, bro, this goes to show, bro.
Conducted between Mr. Davis and the interviewer, which.
Just close your mouth sometimes. Shut the fuck up. You ain't gotta tell everybody what you're doing. Like, if this man wouldn't have did everything that he did, he wouldn't even be in court right now because nobody would have never knew. They wouldn't have knew. But I think something happened with him getting in trouble in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken, like how the situation went. And all of this is alleged because this is alleged. I'm just putting the story together. I'm thinking Keefe D got into a situation in Las Vegas. After he got in this situation, he wanted to give evidence, and the correct turn state evidence. You turn state evidence, or even if you got something like information on something federal, you give that up to get you out of jail. But they said they was gonna give him a proffer agreement.
Or that is, and he's supposed to be there to really sort of make sure that Mr. Davis is not lying or saying something that's off from what he understands the 2008 proffer session been recorded.
So that was Davis appearing to try and help his own attorney, but there was another moment. This was during the cross-examination of Michael Dorsey, again, outside the presence of the jury. Dorsey was explaining that he made it a point not to run into Davis. and points out that he can see Davis's reaction to his testimony from the defense table.
Mr. Sam, you may cross.
Okay, Mr. Dorsey, you've never met Mr. Davis before.
We've never met. We've seen each other before.
Okay, so on the day of the recording, you made a point to not run into Mr. Davis, correct?
Correct.
You were actually in this other room.
That's correct.
And you're there just with headphones on.
Yes, sir.
So,
And I saw him walk by. I know you're disagreeing with me right now. I watched him go by.
sure, and that's fine.
And he looked at me.
Okay, are you done with the answer?
Yeah, I sure am.
Okay.
And then the judge asked the jury if they needed a break, and they didn't. But apparently Davis did. So instead of leaning over and quietly telling his attorney, he raised his hand, waving his arm to get the judge's attention.
Let's see, we've been going for about an hour and a half. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you guys have to take a restroom break anywhere? Okay. If you want to just do maybe another half hour and then we'll take our lunch break. Okay, perfect. Do you need to use the restroom? Oh, all right, we will have to take our break now. So we will take a recess. During the recess, you are admonished not to talk, converse amongst yourselves with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or rebuttal, listen to any report of the commentary on the trial. Of any person connected to this case, finding any information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, internet, radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected to the trial until it is submitted to you. Please rise for the jury. We'll see you guys back here at, let's say, 11:30.
These moments are tough. David. Is not just sitting quietly and letting his lawyer do the work. He appears to be inserting himself directly into the proceedings. We saw an especially tense moment on Friday. Before the lunch break, where Davis actually stood up and addressed the judge. He was frustrated that his witnesses had testified, private information had been shared, and he blamed the prosecutor, who in turn had some words for Davis.
You can create an invoice in less than a minute. Customize it with your business logo, info, and signature.
They broke in my house, vandalized my house, vandalized my wife's car, because they keep giving out our address. Now they gave my sister address. This stuff is wrong.
I've heard it's going on both ways, that there's concerns both ways.
They're wrong.
I've admonished them to talk to their witnesses and anyone they communicate about these issues, okay? So your attorney let me know what's going on.
You beat up on a cop, guy attacked me in your. You're sitting in prison. This is wrong, and it's wrong in this job.
The record you're playing is true.
Just I get your point, man. I get your point, bro. Goofy ass nigga, sit your goofy ass down, bro.
I think he's indicating he's upset at the prosecution for murder.
Talking about you kill a pop, man. Sit your goofy ass down somewhere. Like, I don't want to. You was a goofy ass nigga, bro. Bragging about you killed Pop. Now they got you in a courtroom. Now you trying to do some other shit. Fuck you.
No, I'm not upset because you're endangering my family's life.
State, again, like we talked about at the bench, you're going to stay in communication with your witnesses about not doing any of that. Goes both ways. Mr. Sarich will talk to your client about not communicating with witnesses as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
There is a lot going on in this courtroom. So if you're interested in the play-by-play, gavel-to-gavel coverage of not just this case, but so many of huge true crime cases, you need to check out Law and Crime Plus, where you can unlock access to case files, where the latest court documents, police videos, and more are updated constantly. And you can also watch shows from both Law and Crime and Court TV ad-free. And with my promo on the case, that's all one word, you will get a month free on lawandcrimeplus.com. So head over, enter that promo code on the case, one word, and claim your free month right now. So all of those filings took place on Friday. But I want to get back to Michael Dorsey and what happened.
I want to see what happened with this Dorsey dude. Like, he's saying he heard some shit that was outside of whatever we heard.
Now, Dorsey was a consultant hired by a production company that was behind Death Row Chronicles. His job was to
They had him on there. Keefe D was on the Chronicles, Death Row Chronicles.
listen in on the interviews from a separate room through a speaker, while Davis was being questioned on camera, and he was there to help filmmakers verify that Davis was telling the truth, especially since.
Damn, so they were shooting some shit, and they had another motherfucker listening in another room to fact check everything he was saying to see if it was true. But how would the fact checker know unless they already knew what actually happened?
Documentary was also going to use audio from the 2008 Crawford interview that we have talked about in some other episodes. But here's the issue. Dorsey didn't just listen. He also recorded everything with his phone. He made surreptitious recordings of the entire interview, including moments when the cameras weren't rolling. And some of those off-camera moments
He probably said some weird shit when the camera was off and thought he was.
Conversations between Davis and his attorney, a man named Wayne Higgins. And that's where the legal fight started. The defense argued that those off-camera conversations were protected by attorney-client privilege and that Davis had a reasonable expectation of privacy when he was talking to his lawyer during breaks. But the prosecution has pushed back on that. They argued there was no expectation of privacy. Davis was in a recording studio. He was surrounded by crew members with microphones on him, and he had signed a release. He knew that he was being recorded. And at one point, he even said, quote, "This is a hot mic." So the judge.
Damn. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. That's what Keefe D got, a dumbass prize. He's sitting in the courtroom right now for Tupac.
Had to decide if those conversations were privileged or fair game. So Dorsey went back up to the stand and he made it clear. Davis knew exactly what was happening. But the defense went hard at Dorsey, and it went so off the rails that prosecutors eventually objected.
Which road you may change lanes, number 1 or number 2? Number 2, what does this sign mean? A, no pedestrians, or B, no parking? B, no parking. Which sign is crossroads, number 1 or number 2? Number 1.
Shoot, are you for real? This is why I need to tell you guys. They have real life examples of driving situations and help you make sure you know the rules so you can absolutely ace your license exam. So if these intersections make you want to just make a U-turn and head back home too, you've got to get to Toby. You'll be nailing them faster than you can say driving for it.
Dorsey, you've never met Mr. Davis before.
We've never met. We've seen each other before.
Okay, so on the day of the recording, you made a point to not run into Mr. Davis, fair?
Correct.
You were actually in this other room.
That's correct.
And you're there just with headphones on.
Yes.
So.
And I saw him walk by. I know he's disagreeing with me right now. I'm not.
Okay, are you done with the answer?
Yeah, sure am.
Okay. Now, in terms of your work, I want to make sure I'm clear. Are you working as an employee of BET?
No.
Okay, what are you?
I am a contract employee, work for hire, as a technical consultant for specifically this production. I'm not hired by BET, I'm hired by the production company.
Production company?
Yes, sir.
And that's Entertainment One?
Entertainment One and Creature Films, like a subsidiary of Entertainment One.
All right. And then in terms of your work with Entertainment One, that goes bound with a confidential agreement, right?
Yes.
Do you have proof right now that you're no longer bound to that agreement?
I do. I have a letter from an attorney at Paramount Pictures, which owns BET, approving me sharing my information. And then I also have an email from Mark Ford, the head of Picture Films, also saying he had no objection.
The defense kept pressing, and Dorsey didn't back down.
So in your work with Entertainment One, what you basically do is you have your phone or whatever recording device down next to the monitor in which you're listening to the conversation.
Correct.
You cannot tell us who's where in your recording, correct?
Correct.
You just hear noises.
Right, that's right.
Now, in terms of the actual recording itself, as the individuals sitting there, are they sitting with mics on their lapels and they're sitting there being interviewed by that person?
What do you mean, the person conducting the interview, is he wearing a mic?
Is he wearing a mic and is the person that is interviewing wearing?
I don't know if the Mario Diaz, for example, is conducting the interview. I don't know if he was wearing a lapel mic, but there would be two mics in the room minimum. There would be a lapel mic on key feet, and then there would be a shotgun mic over him that is kind
So
of
they, I don't know shotgun, but we call them boom mics. Boom mic. Like if you see somebody shooting a movie, and they got the footage coming this way, but they got a big mic with a furry thing on it. That's the boom mic. Just a little bit of educational value to.
In terms of what you're recording, you don't know, for instance, if the cameras are on and off because you're actually just listening to sound.
That's correct.
In terms of the interview, you understand that what you take is what's in the room as well as.
Yes. Yes, he was there for the entire first interview, and then he was like 10 minutes late for the second one.
All right. Now, before we were listening to this, are there any moments at all where Mr. Davis is talking about during what you would think would be a private conversation?
Loudly. He's just using a normal indoor voice, is what I would say.
Okay, and then when you say that there was this statement that this is a hot mic,
yes,
it's fair to say that that was a reminder to whoever he's talking to that, hey, this should be kept private.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So there were times where there was an understanding, or at least an idea that what they were going to have a conversation.
There was one time, that was the only time.
Now, after you had recorded what you did in this case, which is the entire thing.
Correct.
You never had his permission to record all of it, right?
I didn't need his permission.
Why?
Because he's there to be recorded. He's got mics on him, he has lights in.
That's a good rebuttal in court is like, yo, he got a lapel mic on him. He got a boom mic up there. He's supposed to be recorded, so.
Camera pointed at him. He's in the production studio. I'm officially hired on as a crew member. I'm allowed to do whatever I want.
No, this guy's up there, but sure.
He said he allowed to do whatever he want out that bitch, like. For real, like.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Sure, you're a crew member, but you don't own the rights to the production itself, right?
Correct.
And you don't own the rights in terms of what the camera angles are or anything along those lines.
That's correct. I did not put this on YouTube and profit from.
Okay, well, back up here again. I want to make sure I'm clear. Did you take that audio recording that you made and give it to either Entertainment One or any of the subsidiaries in this case?
No.
Okay, so you basically took something that you didn't have permission to take.
That's not true.
Okay, well, back up here. Tell me who you got permission from.
I didn't need permission. Do you understand? There's no permission needed for that. I'm there to do it. I made the recording because he showed up for the first interview, not ready for his interview to be conducted. So I knew it was going to be broken up into 2 days. So I said, I'm going to make a recording of this so that I can make sure we ask the correct follow-up questions when we come back. That's the only reason I made this recording.
But you're not the contract person. You don't have a contract.
I apologize, but we're way afield of the issue that the court needs to rule upon, and this sounds like cross-examination for a jury.
Well, I'll get back into it. I'm just saying as of right now, Judge, we have a problem with this. Thank you. And just to make sure I'm clear, you take that recording and that's the recording that you're now publishing here for this jury, right?
Publishing, no. Playing for the jury, yes. Publishing suggests publicly. I'm not putting this out to the public.
That was a legal terminology, but you're playing that for the jury.
Yes, sir.
That's what it.
After hearing from both sides, the judge made her decision.
In general, the attorney-client privilege under 49.095 is broken when you speak in front of a third party who's unrelated to the legal team. Here, it appears as though Mario Dorsey and no others were potentially present for the conversations. Additionally, the setting of the interview itself does not lend itself to believe that the conversation would be privileged and or private, but it's a recording studio. The purpose is there to be recorded. A release is signed so the person can be recorded. The entire room is microphoned up. Additionally, there are microphones on the people participating in the interview. In general, this isn't a situation that will lend itself to private conversations. I think based on the testimony, they are not privileged conversations.
Essentially, the judge ruled out the attorney-client privilege, meaning the off-camera conversations became fair game. Now, with the legal issue resolved, the jury was ready to hear the recordings. From the 2017 interviews, they can't be played here due to copyright restrictions. So here are some of the key moments from the July 28th interview that the jury heard. At one point, Davis appeared to open up the interview about Sean Diddy Combs. Back in the day, he was then known as Puff. His name changed a couple times since, right? And his alleged fear of Suge Knight, who was the head of Death Row Records. You remember that East Coast, West Coast rap rivalry of the 1990s. Now, Davis can be heard in the recording saying, quote, Puffy was scared of Suge. He was really scared of the dude. It wasn't no game. He was out of college, you know. He also talked about the offer that Combs allegedly made to pay Davis for killing Tupac and Suge, and he can be heard in that recording saying, quote, he wanted to get rid of them dudes, his problems, CEO, the big guy, yeah. When the interviewer pressed further, asking if Davis and his crew were cool with helping Combs, Davis pushed back, saying, quote, no, we ran into him at the house.
Look at this. Oh, perfect. Oh my God.
House of Blues. The interviewer then asked Davis directly, did Puffy ever pay him? And this is what he said. No, because it was hot, you know? You can't just jump out there like that. Got to be smarter in this game. You know what I'm saying. Otherwise, they take your bleed down. Now, according to Davis, the payment was supposed to come through an intermediary, but it never arrived. And he expressed frustration about the situation, saying, quote, I hate the day I met Puff. He destroyed my life. He's super rich. Bleeper ain't even send me a pair of Sean John Jordans. And when the interviewer asked if he was upset about not getting paid, Davis again pushed back, saying, quote, I am a kingpin. I was making more money than Puff. I had all the money, all the women. I didn't need the money.
So he said he had all the women. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, what women did you have? What women did you have, sir? I've never seen you with a woman. I'm just fucking.
He asked Davis about his nephew, a man named Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. Davis opened up about how he was loved. Quote, Orlando was well respected, good student in school, everybody loved him, he liked Tupac too. And when asked why Anderson was never charged for anything relating to the shooting of Tupac Shakur, Davis said, quote, he didn't brag. That's against the code, dog. Davis also talked about his relationship with Suge Knight, how they've known each other since they were kids. And when asked if Suge ran Death Row Records like a gang, Davis didn't hesitate. Quote, yeah, he hired all gang members. I guess money gave him the power. You know, money is power. Now, later in the interview, Davis was asked if he ever felt bad about what happened to Tupac. And he said, quote, I wish it never happened. It changed my whole bleeping life. I lost my plug. Colombian boy left, went back to Bogota. He didn't want to be caught up in our BS. And later, quote, Tupac should have stayed in his lane. You're not a gangster. You're a bleeping rapper. I told you earlier, stay in your bleeping lane, dude. You're not doing what we're doing. Now, before we go, some highlights from Friday that we did not get a chance to show you because today was focused on the legal battle over those recordings. But Friday's testimony gave the jury something else entirely. Eyewitness accounts and documentary evidence that put Davis's own words front and center. The prosecution called Leonard Jefferson. He's the man who took the last known photograph of Tupac Shakur alive just minutes before the shooting in Las Vegas. Jefferson testified that he came to Vegas for the Mike Tyson fight, but he ends up selling his tickets for $2,500 each, and he was just people watching at MGM instead. Now, while in the lobby, he recognized Tupac in his entourage. He had met Tupac before back in LA because Jefferson sold cars to people who were affiliated with Death Row Records. So he was introduced to Tupac at a studio. Now, later that night, Jefferson says he was driving down Las Vegas Boulevard in his white Suburban. He was stopped at a red light when a car pulled up next to him. The wheels caught his attention. Then he looks up, and there's Tupac Shakur. And who's with him in the car? Suge Knight.
I was stopped at a light, and a car rolled up. Really
so y'all got, so you got to think about this. This ain't even like when you had a cell phone, you could just swipe down, hit the camera button, and snap. This you had to have an actual camera to do this shit.
And I looked up and I saw Tupac and Suge sitting in the car.
Well, did you try to interact with Mr. Shakur or Mr. Knight?
With Tupac, I did.
And what happened? He does something.
Yeah, I said, hey, what up, Pop? And then he kind of looked, kind of took like a double take. Oh, what up, man? And I said, hey, where you guys headed? He said, we're headed to the club. You should follow us. It's all right, cool. And then, I don't know. I said, man, let me get a picture real quick. And I had my camera in my center console, so I just grabbed my camera and snapped the picture.
He had an actual camera, bruh. You know, the last time we had a camera in reality, I'm talking in the world, like a camera. I got a camera back there, but I'm just saying, like a camera. Come on, man.
He had a 35 millimeter camera in his center console. Remember, this is the 90s, long before camera phones were even close to being a thing. So as the light turns green, Tupac's car takes off, and he took this picture. Now, Jefferson ends up following the caravan. He was about 3 cars back, he says, and at some point, he made a right turn onto Flamingo Road, and then
everything about any fragrance just by taking a photo. Get instant details on any perfume, brand and perfumer.
Then he heard.
When I get on the phone, I was calling California Pizza Kitchen to cancel my food order.
Because you guys do the club, you don't need a CPK.
So while I was on the phone with him, like 30 seconds or so, and all of a sudden I just hear pop, 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 and I'm kind of like, like looking around, and then I see the cars are stopped. I see the people in front. They were in the cars. They got out of the car and ran to the front. They ran to the BMW.
So you hear gunshots.
Yes.
But do you see where the gunshots are coming from?
I did not know.
And do you see who's doing the shooting?
I did not know.
You just hear the gunshots?
I just hear it. I made a U-turn. I catch up to, I'm behind the Lexus. It was a green Lexus. So I'm behind him. And then we see Suge make the wide left turn back onto the strip. And he went up on the curb and came back down. And then we all went through the intersection. There was traffic coming through, and we just all made it through. And then we got to, Harmon. We got back to Harmon, and Suge makes another left turn. And now it's like cross traffic. He couldn't get through. And by this time, now you see the bicycle cops. There's a bicycle cop rolls up, and Suge is kind of like stopped here. This is Las Vegas. This is the street he turns on. So he's just stopped. And then the cop drops his bike. And I started to get out. And I got back to myself. The cops.
You look at the BMW at all?
I look at it, and then I see the bicycle cop rolled up. And then he drops his bike. And then I see Suge getting out the car. And now the officer is yelling commands to him, get down, lay down. And you hear Suge saying, my man, pocket shot, we need help, pocket shot. And then the cops, I kind of blanked out, I didn't really hear what he said. And then the cop, for whatever, walked over there to Suge. Suge got up and they walked over to the passenger side of the car. At that time, when that occurred, another police officer rolled up in a vehicle. He ran out and pulled a gun on me. and ordered me out of the car. He opened my door and just threw me down, snatched me out of the car, threw me down on the ground. Now I'm like prone down on the ground. I'm in the direction I'm facing. I can see what's going on with the with the police and shit.
Did the officer give you an explanation as to why he was treating you in such a manner?
Yeah, I said, hey, what's going on? He said, we have witnesses saying that you were part of their entourage.
That photo would go on to become famous. It's been licensed for books, documentaries, it's used in news coverage. Jefferson acknowledged under cross-examination that he's profited from licensing that image. I mean, it's an iconic photo. But he said he didn't stage the scene in any way. The prosecution then played clips from the documentary, and the jury heard Davis's own words, and they heard him talk about the $60,000 paid to Orlando Anderson. They heard him say that he wanted to get the truth out, and they heard portions of the 2008 proffer interview where Davis described getting the gun from someone named Zip Martin, handing it to the back seat, and his nephew, Orlando, fired the shots. But according to Diaz, the interviews were not scripted. He didn't provide questions in advance. There was no coaching or coercion on his part. Now, after Davis later claimed that the documentary was actually, quote, scripted and just for show, Diaz and others lobbied to release the raw footage to police. On cross-examination, the defense pointed out that Davis was paid for his appearance and that the documentary used dramatizations and recreations. But Diaz maintained that Davis's words on camera were his own. So that was Friday. Then today you have the legal fight over those recordings that continued, but the jury has now heard Davis's own words, and the prosecution is building its case around what he himself has said. That would
Hey, we just have to listen to the law and crime.
Hi, we're missioners for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Are you new to the area and looking for a new church home? If so, we can introduce you to a community of like-minded believers. Let's meet.
Hey, let's see. We're about to go to Trap More Raw channel or tell about Trap More Raws. Probably try to get 3 hours out of this one.
All right, so I'm back. I'm outside the courthouse. All right, there's been all sorts going on. I'm going to do a quick update here, and then what I'm going to do is go and do a full update from my desk. I have so many notes. I'm just going to sweat to death out here if I do the whole thing. So I'm just going to give you guys like a brief update of kind of the second half, everything that happened in the second half. And I'll be honest, there's probably going to be a few things that I missed, all right? There are a few things that I basically thought was a little bit iffy. No disrespect to anybody at the courtroom. The courtroom staff are doing an amazing job of managing a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. But for some reason, they kept all the accredited media outside the courtroom for like 25 minutes. I don't know if it was because Machine Gun Kelly...
It's that Machine Gun Kelly came through there.
True. He was seemingly getting priority over the media, which was weird. They let MGK in before the media. Maybe he had some sort of secret backdoor celebrity pass. But a lot of the media missed 20 minutes of testimony. They let in, obviously, Doug's family, which completely understood that the takes priority, as well as all the Pab's family.
Yeah, they got MGK in there, bro. That's crazy.
Who were in the courtroom. But yeah, there was about 20 minutes of testimony I missed. Allegedly, it was from the lead detective. I didn't actually get the chance to see them introduce themselves. But they basically gave a whole bunch of information. They pretty much showed everything to do with the cars that were used to kill Lil Pab and the whole stalking narrative. I'm not going to lie, they did a very good job of explaining the likely stalking that had been going on. One of the craziest things, they were talking about the
I hope it ain't a BM of Jam. I hope it ain't the BM.
It was a BMW M5, so these guys were sliding inside.
I thought they were talking about Jam.
That was a super exclusive whip. It was a BMW M5 and an Infiniti. Yeah, I don't think they said what kind. I would like to think it was a Q50 if they're coming out from Chicago, but I don't really know. But basically, what I do know is that, like, that BMW M5, it had a tracker in it, and what was really interesting was Vonnie had been sliding around in this BMW M5 right before the murder had happened. He'd been driving it around, He'd been parking it at Dirk's California crib in Encino. They had a GPS tracker that tracked that kind of what's it called? It tracked that actual BMW around all these locations, including to Dirk's crib.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. Look like it might be cooked, bro. He might be cooked. He might be cooked. Hey, until they come back on and play some.
It was left at Dirk's crib when they flew out to Miami for a day. Apparently, Dirk and Vonnie and a couple other guys flew out to Miami to do a song with DJ Khaled, and then they came back on the 18th of September. And then suddenly the hit squad was initiated. Vonnie went straight back to Dirk's house from the private jet, picked up the BMW M5 and started stalking Quando Rondo. That BMW M5 had stalked Quando Rondo. Until the early hours of the morning into the morning of the 19th of August. We saw video footage of the BMW M5 and the Infiniti circling around the block outside the Level Hotel with Quando was apparently staying. This is in downtown, but not far from the courthouse. And it was just crazy. They were on Quando's case. We saw footage of Quando and Lil Pab going in and out of the hotel.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. We having technical difficulties.
Well, I don't know if they'd gone out for a cigarette or just to get something or for a smoke or something, but they'd gone out, saw them on the street a little bit, coming back in. It seemed like the killers had actually missed them by a little bit. And then they spent all night circling the block until like past 1 a.m. They didn't have any luck, so they drove back to wherever they were staying. The BMW M5 went back to Dirk's house and was there overnight. And then in the morning, they started fighting again. Waited outside Quando's hotel to come out and try and catch him. They followed him all around town. They followed him to the Bacon 8 store. We saw footage of them pulling.
I went to the vape store. Got them some real authentic vape. And then took somebody's life after that. That's crazy. And it's crazy because, like, they probably got that. 9 times out of 10, they got them on surveillance footage.
Squad was initiated. Outside the Level Hotel where Quando was apparently staying. This is in downtown, so not far from the courthouse. And it was just crazy. They were on Quando's case. We saw footage of Quando and Lil Pab going in and out of the hotel. I don't know if they'd gone out for a cigarette or just to get something or for a smoke or something, but they'd gone out. We saw them on the street a little bit, coming back in. It seemed like the killers had actually missed them by a little bit. And then they spent all night circling the block until like past 1 a.m. They didn't have any luck, so they drove back to wherever they were staying. the BMW M5 went back to Dirk's house and was there overnight, and then in the morning they started sliding again. They waited outside Quando's hotel to come out and try and catch him. They followed him all around town. They followed him to the Bathing Ape store. We saw footage of them pulling up to Bathing Ape, Quando and Lil Pab walking around Bathing Ape in Hollywood. I've been to that Bathing Ape store, it's lit. I bought loads of stuff in that Bathing Ape store. I'm thinking, what the hell is it like? So they drove back to wherever they were staying. The BMW M5 went back to Dirk's house and was there overnight, and then in the morning they started sliding again. They waited outside Quando's hotel to come out and try and catch him. They followed him all around.
So they waited outside the hotel.
Downtown, they followed him to the Bathing Ape store. We saw footage of them pulling up to Bathing Ape, Quando and Lil Pab walking around Bathing Ape in Hollywood. I've been to that Bathing Ape store.
I need me some bail. I ain't got no bail in there.
It's lit. I bought loads of stuff in that Bathing Ape store. I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? They showed the cars circling the block in front of the Bape store, basically stalking Quando and Pab. They showed them following them from there. They said that they were driving dangerously, running red lights, doing all type of stuff to basically keep up with them. They said they were driving dangerously, putting the public at risk to continue with this stalking activity that they were doing. All right, so that screwed up in it.
Yeah, they was doing. They was doing what now? Hold on, bro.
But you know what's crazy? The detective said that I did a lot of looking into this BMW. I found out it had a GPS tracker. I went to the exotic car rental spot where the BMW M5 was rented from because the Infiniti was stolen. I don't know how they got it. They haven't got into that yet. They said that this was crazy. This blew my mind. They said, did you see anything interesting when you pulled up to the rental spot where the BMW was rented from? They said, yeah. They said, what do you see? And so I went in the office. They had a framed picture of the owner with Lil Durk. I'm thinking, what the hell? You have a framed picture of the guy that owned the rental spot, that rented the car that was used in the... That car went back to Dirk's house in between all of the stalking and the murders. They're saying that that car was 2 blocks away when the murder happened. The Infiniti was the murder.
Hey, y'all, this is crazy.
The car that was used right at the gas station. Vonnie was apparently, the BMW was apparently waiting. Vonnie's car was just 2 blocks away, a 7-minute walk away from where the murder happened. And they all met up at In-N-Out. And they went their separate ways. That car went back to Doug's crib. I'm sorry, but how are you going to explain that? That is crazy. So they had a whole bunch of records related to that BMW, and I can explain.
So you saying after the murder happened, they went back to their crib? Let me see. Let me run that back. Just a quick second. Let me run that back.
They said that this was crazy. This blew my mind. They said, did you see anything interesting when you pulled up to the rental spot where the BMW was rented from? They said, yeah. They said, what do you see? And so I went in the office. They had a framed picture of the owner with Lil Durk. I'm thinking, what the hell? You have a framed picture of the guy that owned the rental spot, that rented the car that was used in the murder. That car went back to Dirk's house in between all of the stalking and the murders. They're saying that that car was 2 blocks away when the murder happened. The Infiniti was the murder car that was used right at the gas station. Vonnie was apparently, the BMW was apparently waiting. Vonnie's car was just 2 blocks away, a 7-minute walk away from where the murder happened. And they all met up at In-N-Out, and they all went their separate ways. That car went back to Doug's crib. I'm sorry, but how are you going to explain that? That is crazy. So they had a whole bunch of records related to that BMW, and I can explain to you more of that in a longer video later on when I get back to my office. But basically, that was just like extremely damning stuff. They then went on to show all of the footage. So so obviously in the morning, I'd already told you guys that we had seen this harrowing footage of Lil Pab being taken out of the car, Quando screaming no, Lil Pab taking his last breaths. Really, really tragic stuff, and rest in peace to him. My condolences to his family. I did see them in the courtroom today. I didn't approach them. It didn't really feel appropriate in context of what was going on. But rest in peace to my condolences. That was horrible enough. But then we saw even more footage of the shooting as it happened. They had even more angles. The gas station where they got shot up, they pulled up before they actually parked at the gas pump, and Quando and Pab went in to get snacks. They had footage from inside the gas station showing Quando and Pab getting snacks in the same outfits. They showed the car actually circled around the Infinity. It went through the gas station and drove right next to Quando and Pab's car before it backed into the gas. They circled around numerous times, went through the gas station. That was crazy. Obviously, we saw the shooting footage again, but it was synced up with the footage of Quando in the gas station. So we're seeing them pull up. We're seeing the whole, them walking the gas station, picking their snacks, coming out. It took quite a long time. And then when they're outside finishing up pumping gas, that's when the shooters come, shoot the place up and drive off. We saw all of that. We also saw Dirk's financial records. We saw his Amex account statements. This was bad. They said that Dirk, first off, Dirk had an Amex account. Four different people on the accounts that had cards. It was his company. He had an LLC. I think it was called something like. I wouldn't say because I don't want any identifying info, but it was called like something sounds. It was like an LLC that you might have for the music industry, that you might be doing your official activities through, right? So interestingly enough, after that, we basically found out that Dirk had this Amex account. 4 different people had access.
Beautiful sunny day, and I was hit from behind by 2 vehicles. One person was texting.
Four different people had access, and all of the flights for the hitmen had been booked on that Amex account. It was bad news, okay? It was bad news, all right? You see the guy across the street?
Yeah, they salute the trap, though. Salute the trap. He been going out there. He been doing this thing, like, you know. Even though he got some weirdos out there following him around, but salute the trap on this, putting this dirt, putting in the work on dirt and stuff like that.
It's my friend. If he comes over, I'm filming. So look, they basically found that this Amex account, all right, it had 4 other people had cards. One of them was Dirk's dad. One of them was someone that Dirk worked with, that Dirk had hired, and another one was sort of almost like someone on the business side of things. But basically, what ended up happening, all of the hitmen's flights were booked on the Amex. We saw the statement of the Amex showing everything that was going on with that. We basically saw that he had spent $150,000 in a month on this Amex, $6,700 at Amiri, $3,000 at Neiman Marcus, and several $1,000s on these hitmen. Now, it wasn't Dirk's card, it wasn't the Dirk Bank's Amex card, but it was his company, his LLC that he owned account that had all of this stuff paid for. So honestly, that was pretty bad. Okay, that was pretty odd. But You know, we saw the footage of the hitman arriving in San Diego. They said that they had a party bus, a Sprinter, that had driven them from San Diego to Los Angeles. All right, this is all pretty serious. I'm not gonna lie to you. All of that stuff was just crazy. So
They drove them from San Diego to Los Angeles. That's a good little ride. That's a good little ride. San Diego to Los Angeles.
But I'm gonna have to get into it in a separate video. But Dirk's house, he was staying in a house in Encino, California. He had it on a sort of medium-term rental. He was paying $35,000 a month for his rental, and Vonnie parked in the BMW used in the reconnaissance for the hit at it. Absolutely crazy. Drove it there after the hit. Had it there stored before the hit. They flew out to DJ Khaled's studio together. So Vonnie took that BMW to a shop called REI or Ray. You Americans can tell me how it's pronounced. I've been there one time, but it's like a sporting goods store. He went and bought the ski masks that we use in the hit in the store. All right. They had a receipt for the ski masks that were bought. They were the exact same ski masks that we used in the hit. They showed the surveillance footage from the hit, showing that they were the same ski masks. Obviously, I might have already told you guys, but the hitters. Actually, I wouldn't have already told you guys. The hitters were wearing the same shoes in the hit video. They changed their top halves, but they kept on the same pants and the same shoes. They had very distinctive shoes. They were looking like different types of retro Jordans to me. Somebody had a pair of red on. Somebody had a black pair with white accents. Somebody had a gray pair of Jordans, like the later stage Jordans type. You know, I could probably find you a picture in another video when I'm at my desk. But basically, they wore the same pants and the same shoes on the hit when they had the ski masks on, and then in and out with their faces out. Absolute insanity. Now, what was really crazy, I might let this ambulance go by first before I tell you the next part, because you ain't going to be able to hear nothing. And there's an ambulance sliding on me right now, okay? So there was just so much going on, right? There's a lot going on. I'm going to address everything else that's going on later on in another video, okay? But like, I'm going to let this siren do its thing. Man, God bless the fire department of Los Angeles, man. That's some good people. That's definitely a difficult job. But anyway, okay, we definitely heard kind of a lot of really interesting stuff. All the shoes matched up, but one of the craziest things, so OTF Jam was wearing a pair of pants, right? One of the other guys, I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, it might have been, it was one of the other shooters, not Jam. He was wearing like ripped jeans at the shooting, there was a rip in the right knee, same jeans in and out burger with his face out, 40 minutes later, same Jordans on, absolutely ridiculous. But in addition, this is going to blow your mind, all right? Jam was wearing a pair of sweatpants that had like a slogan on them, okay? And this was just absolute insanity. He was wearing a pair of sweatpants with a slogan on them, and you know what it said? They said on them, rats before riches. It had like a little thing that said rats before riches. Now,
Rats before riches. What?
It's so ironic now that we know he's cooperating, but this it probably was like a different kind of slogan trying to say, oh, you get ratted on before you come up and get rich. But they noticed that, they noticed the same Jordans. They basically, the detectives was on smoke. The detectives found that there was only 2 stores that sold these sweatpants. Where were they? Southside Chicago. And they went to the store. They said, they basically, I can't remember if they said they subpoenaed the store or they went and asked questions. But basically, come to find out, they found out who had bought pairs of these sweatpants. OTFDD. Just like info on top of info on top of info. And it's just unbelievable how much they actually put across. Now, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm going to have to sit down and break it in one long-ass video. But the last thing that we heard that was really interesting was that, like, apparently after the jury left, there was a little bit of housekeeping done, and the defense basically threw a little kind of, a little bit of a wobbler, basically saying, oh, they snuck in this evidence. It's the first time that Dirk's seen these messages. It's messages from OTF Jam, where OTF Jam is apparently talking about, some kind of, like, obviously, we know that he had that altercation in the bathroom where Dirk and other members of OTF said, yo, you're out here catching bodies, you're making it hot, you're getting the feds on us. Well, apparently Jam confronted Dirk after that in a text message, basically saying he noticed he's getting cut out since that day, basically saying, look, since that then, I know that you guys have been cutting me out of the circle. You guys have been making it difficult for me. What's going on? Apparently, Dirk replied. He said, "Look, I get it, but we can't do the Fed's job for them. We've got to let them do their thing." And apparently, Jam replied, "I'll lay it out for them. MF's acting scared to be around me. Guys act like they don't F with me since that day." Dirk said, "Look, I'm with you 1,000%."
Hey, eat cook, bro. Eat cook. It's too much information. See, information rule the nation, and when you in a case like this right here, and they got that type of information on you, bro, you dead. You dead out here, boy. And I feel bad for you, Dirk.
You got to use your head. We ain't helping them people. Jam said, "I got you, blood. I got you on my son." And Dirk said, "I got you. You just got to use your brain." They basically went back and forth. They was like, "Yeah, I got you." Now, apparently, later on, there was then that next exchange. You know when Dirk was apparently talking about Lamron Richer saying, "I got him out hunting you 3 ski miles deep." Well, apparently, is that my camera overheating? Is that what's that going on? I don't know what's going on. But apparently, okay. Let's see if I'm out of focus. Is he coming? I'm gonna wrap it up. All right. So look,
You say, "Is it coming?" Like, I'm gonna wrap it up. Like, is somebody following Trap More Ross around? They fucking with his videos. I don't know. It looked like random people, but sometimes somebody give like somebody $500 and just hey, go fuck with the video.
Basically wrap it up. But basically, apparently, Jam offered like. He basically said, "I can deal with the Lamron Richer thing. I just need a couple cards, a couple sliders to get it handled." And basically, the defense said, "No, we can't allow that in." And the judge was kind of like, "Look, if it supports what Jam's going to say in his testimony, then I'm basically going to allow it." He's going to allow a lot of these things. He said a lot of things have been added last minute. He said, "You guys can attack it on cross-examination." And he basically said, "Look, I'm leaning towards letting you guys have your run on cross-examination because, you know, a lot of things have been added last minute." Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. We definitely might have just made another new friend right now, okay? I might have made a whole other new friend once again. We got the soundtrack popping.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing, man, it just looked crazy. It looked wild, it looked weird. They said Deshaun is quarterback number 1. Let's see what's going on with it looked like it's only Unc and Shay. I mean, Unc and
all your best memories. Nice work, Keith.
Ocho.
If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
You can make cool things for your thing on Canva, the thing that makes anything a thing.
Hey guys, it's your favorite up here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the story. Jason Johnson, the Bears' outstanding cornerback. He'll be joining us a little bit later. But first, the news of the day. Deshaun Watson has been named the starter for Week 1 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's Todd Monken and the decision and how he arrived at that decision.
Deshaun is going to start against Jacksonville.
So as a coach, we're gonna try to be fair. Like, look, listen, we're gonna try to be fair. We're gonna be fair. We'll be fair as a coach. We'll be fair. But if your ass don't goddamn come through and do what you need to do as a quarterback, Shador gonna get the job ASAP.
The full body of work over the course of off-season to training camp to the games, the joint practice, and ultimately felt like start the season on the road. Deshaun gave us the best chance to move the ball and score points. I mean, that's really what it's about. And felt that way on the last game, but wasn't sure. And after we talked as a staff, and after we re-looked at everything, we're going to go that direction.
Monken said Deshaun gave us the best chance to move the ball and score points. Well, here's the stat line versus the Bills. 5 of 12, 36 yards, 0 points, 1 interception. given Ocho, you felt this way the entire offseason. You said that if they don't release Deshaun by June 1st, Deshaun Watson's going to start because there's too much money involved. Guys that make that kind of money don't sit the bench, at least to start the season. And so you've always felt this way. I felt they should have released him in the offseason. And then once I realized, like, hold on, this thing's going to cost them somewhere between 85 and $100 million in dead cap space immediately, I said, nah, he ain't going nowhere. But he starts the season. Todd Monken said he believes Deshaun gives them the best opportunity to score points on the road and win ball games. Their first two games, if I'm not mistaken, they start on the road. Ocho,
Yes.
you're not going to be surprised by this decision, but what do you think really went to the decision? He said he and the staff, I don't believe he and the staff had any say in this. I think it came above his pay grade, and they made a decision, and he says, okay, me and my staff made this decision.
Listen, I told you, obviously the coach, I'm not saying he's a puppet. I'm not saying that, but I knew all along. For one of them know that Deshaun was going to start simply because of the money that's owed to him this season. That's it. So understanding that, Todd Monken is in a tough position. You can't answer the question like he really wants to answer. You know, saying that based on his performance and we feel he gives us our best chance to win, but if you look at the numbers, that's not the person that gives you the best chance to win. You know the call is coming from upstairs. Now I understood that call will come upstairs based on the person that write that check. We want to have the person that's making the most money start as the starting quarterback for our team. And I said it as soon as before the season started. When they went to training camp, I said it's Deshaun Watson's job to lose. It's his job to lose. So they're gonna allow him to start. And they had 2 games on the road. I'm hoping. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with those 2 games. Hoping he looks the par. But if he doesn't, their first home game, the 3rd game of the season, if it's not going well, at that point the change will be made. Mark my words, I haven't been wrong yet. Since basketball season, I haven't been wrong yet.
Oh man, here we go.
Listen to me, Joe. Stay with me. I know you're frustrated because you ain't been right there. But I tell you, I'm not trying to be rude tonight. If the 3rd game does not go the way it should, a change will be made going into week 4. I'm telling you right now ahead of time.
So you think a change will become as soon as week 3? Don't even give him a chance to. Don't get you saying they ain't gonna. Okay, the only way Deshaun can get through this, Ocho, is if he come out there 2-0. And guess what? Game 3, they still gonna boo him. Yes, it don't matter. They still gonna boo him.
Hold on, 1-1, he in the clear now.
Nah, they gonna boo him. I don't care what happened, Ocho. They gonna boo that man.
Joe,
I want to see Shador play, bro. Like that, that's the craziest thing because like we on a whole football season, so it's like I'm not gonna be able to see the quarterback that I want to play every week. He's gonna have to be a backup, and that's crazy.
We don't care about the booing. He ain't got time to be worried about no booing.
Did you hear his press conference, man?
Joe, it's football season. He don't have time to be worried about no booing. You got to go in there and perform. That's it.
I agree.
They're going to boo no matter what.
Man.
Only thing that cures booing is winning and performing. That's it. And if you perform well, the wins will come. The booing will stop.
Hey, if I'm Myles Garrett, I'm in LA with my feet kicked up, got a pina colada jumping. You hear me?
He got that.
I'm so glad to be out this man's man. I can't. Hey, listen. I still can't understand that. Okay, Ocho. I mean, I understand that the guy make a lot of money, but Todd Monken said he gives them the best chance to put points on the board. That's a damn lie. That's a lie. It's a lie, Ocho. It's a lie.
He ain't put no points. He didn't put any points on the board. He had an opportunity.
That's what I'm trying
to
say.
So this preseason, look up how many times of a scoring drive has Deshaun scored? How many points have they scored? It's not like they scored a bunch to begin with, but
so it's kind of hard for me to believe anything Monk can say from here on out. Here, he said it was performance based.
See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
The whole time can feel it. Sunday's coming.
The NFL and CBS streaming on Paramount Plus.
Sunday. I work on Sundays.
With long-lasting battery life from Dell XPS, you can stay plugged in even when you're unplugged.
Space? Nah.
You
you know what, guys?
Wow.
This strikes me as a decision, Ocho and Joe, as that I'm wrong and I don't want to admit I'm wrong. So you know what? Let me ride this. Bro, we already gave him $230 million. He has a poison pill in his contract that if he's on their roster, March 13th is $200 million fully guaranteed again, Ocho. It's okay. I love a coach that will admit when he's wrong. He said, you know what? Coach Belichick was notorious for that. He'll move on off you. Sean Payton said, you know what? I didn't give Russell Wilson this money, but this is not the quarterback for us. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
Yes.
Green Bay says we understand and we appreciate what Aaron Rodgers has done for us. 4 MVPs, a Super Bowl MVP, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about that. But right now, it's time to move on. It seems to me that Jimmy and D. Haslam and Andrew Barry, they're not ready to move on. The fan base does not want this. The fan base is what pays all the bills. Well, a lot of the bills, not all the bills, a lot of the bills. They made it abundantly clear. I wish Deshaun nothing but the best. I hope he can go out there and perform and get some looks, have some resemblance of himself. I don't see it's just hard for me to see a guy that's played 5 years and had 19 games in 5 years ever getting back to what he once was. And in this league, you can't be happy with yourself and be as good as you once were. And so I think it's going to be an uphill climb for him. I agree with you, Joe. It's just going to be hard for Todd Monken to convince that locker room that this was his decision. I know it sounds like, being the staff.
Hey, we just got through reacting to Nightcap with Ocho and my homie. But yeah, man, y'all kicking me in the Karma Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely a notification.